Cool. All right, and yeah, mods. I mean, you guys already know you're in that little group chat thing. Let me know, mods, if there's anybody else in there or anybody else that I need to put in there that is not in there. That's a mod. Thank you. What else? No, I mean, I've already announced everything in there that I need to, so. Alright, let me put my headphones on. Let me get everything started. 2 seconds, hang tight. Hang tight. Okay.
Doug, good morning.
Hi. How you doing? Good morning.
Good.
Hey, I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
38.
All right, what's up?
I'm not sure if you're from Chicago, but I assume.
I am. Yeah, I was born and raised there.
Yeah.
Hmm?
I don't know what the price of milk is in Chicago, but generally speaking, in big cities like that,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be Chicago or New York or Boston,
Hmm?
generally speaking, there's a higher tax on goods and services there.
Yeah, I don't live in Chicago anymore. I live in Florida. I live in the Tampa area. But yeah, sure. Sometimes in cities things can be a little more expensive. But I'm not going off of like a specific area. Like when I talk about prices of things, I typically go off of nationwide, unless I say otherwise.
Why did you move to Florida from Illinois?
Well, I originally went to Arizona first because I was in the military and I got stationed out in Arizona. And then after I got out, I had some family here, so I wanted to be closer to them.
So would you say that living in a red state's better than a blue state,
Better in which way? What do you mean?
financially speaking?
I was never really an adult in Chicago, so I couldn't tell you as far as like financials go. I was never an adult there. So, but sure, no one's going to deny that sometimes big cities or cities in general can be more expensive, but that's the nature of living in a city. It's not necessarily have to do with it being a blue area or not.
Would you say that Tampa is a less invasive city than Chicago in terms of financial restraints?
I would imagine Tampa is probably a little bit cheaper than Chicago. Sure.
I would argue that the reason that is because there's less democratic rule here for the longevity of Tampa.
What, so what what laws are you saying in Chicago cause things to be more expensive, or any blue area for that matter?
Generally speaking, when you have blue cities,
Hmm.
a lot of times you have I know out in California specifically, there's more laws on the books that require higher taxes. In terms of tax in schools, the percentages that you pay are closer to 50% versus maybe 20%.
Guys, we can get to new guests at 10,000 likes, by the way. So what specific laws are you referring to that would inherently make things more expensive in blue areas?
I think property taxes, for example, if you look at Chicago versus Tampa with a homestead exemption, we have a homestead exemption in Florida that allows you to pay less tax, whereas in Chicago or Illinois, they
But
charge more based upon the history of the state and the rules and
thanks,
regulations.
Chris. But that wouldn't affect like the inherent prices of things. Sure, like Texas, we can talk about that, but that wouldn't affect the actual prices of things, though.
Well, just home prices, but then you have gas taxes. So the gas taxes are, in my opinion, probably more expensive there than it is here in Florida.
I mean, we can go up Texas state by state, but what is your overall point? What are you trying to get? What are you trying to get at?
My point is, if you're going to say that Trump hasn't reduced gas prices
Hmm.
or groceries,
Hmm.
I think you should probably start in your own community where you originally came from and argue the fact that Democrats haven't done that as well. And you can't
Well,
blame Trump.
no. The reason why I am doing it is because he said he would lower them on day one, so I'm just holding the guy accountable. That's it. I don't typically. I wouldn't blame a president for prices of things because they don't really control them, but he said he would, so I'm just holding the guy accountable. That's it. And
Yeah.
not to mention too, the averages are the averages. So if you're going to say things are more expensive in blue areas, well, that would have been the case a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. So that's why we have to go off the averages. You know,
Does it bother you that a place like Chicago with that much revenue still gouges their citizens like that?
what do you mean? What do you mean gouges their citizens?
If you take a populated city like Chicago
Mm-hmm.
with all that revenue that they generate,
Mm-hmm.
because there's so many people, they could actually charge less and still generate more revenue than most counties or cities combined.
But part, but part of the reason why they can charge so, or why they do charge so much, is because they have a lot of people there, right? That's a big part of it. They have a lot of people that they're never going to be able to, like, red areas, rural areas are never going to be able to revenue or generate as much revenue as big cities. So it's just never going to be the case.
Well, that's my point, is because they have more streams of revenue than other smaller towns and cities. It
Hmm.
seems like they would charge less because they have a bigger customer base.
Well, again, when there's a lot of people in an area, demand goes up. That's just, again, the very nature of living in a big city, though.
I don't agree with your prompt that Trump's made hasn't made gas prices or groceries cheaper yet.
Well, gas is objectively not cheaper than it was when he took office. When he took office, gas was 3.19 nationwide. It is currently above 3.19.
Yeah. Well, I think as he mentioned before, they're having issues with price gouging because if you look at the price of a barrel of oil, it's went down. So I mean, he has made that go cheaper. So it seems like
What did he do to make gas go cheaper, or to make oil go cheaper?
he imported a lot of more barrels of oil.
What's your evidence of that?
He just was talking about it just recently. He said you've got more oil that's been imported in the last few months, and it's caused the price to go down. He said that the gas prices are not reflecting the price of a barrel of oil,
Okay,
and he's
well,
right.
even if that was true, number one, you can track that. You can just go to the EIA and track those things, and that's not even true to begin with. But secondly, at the end of the day, people care about what they're paying at the pump. They don't care about the price of oil. They care about what they're
Yeah,
paying at the
that's what
pump.
he. That was his point. Yeah,
But he
but to
said
say
he
he's
would
not
lower
going.
them though. But he said he would lower them though.
Well, now he's going after the gas companies.
And you're telling me he can get gas companies to lower gas? You're
Of
telling me he's going to be
course.
able to do that? How?
Yeah, there's
How would he
price
be?
gouging laws.
How would he be able to do that?
You just enforce the price gouging laws. They're
So how?
artificially inflated because they're
How?
artificially all the big. There's only like 5 or 6 gas manufacturers. When all those companies are gouging the customer, Shell, BP, then he looks at it and says, "Okay, you're paying $50 a barrel for oil, and you're charging the same amount as." He said it should be $2.25 versus $5. So
What
that's
price gouging laws are you referring to though?
in the United States, it's illegal to price gouge, both federally and state.
What specific law is being broken that he needs to enforce, so in relation to gas?
He said specifically that he was going to enforce the price gouging laws on a federal level. So I don't know what the subsection is for the revised statutes, but he specifically said just the other day that he was taking care of that now.
There's no price gouging laws as it relates to gas. I'm not sure what you're referring to, let alone any that he would be able to just
Price gouging
enforce.
laws relate to every goods and service. You can't take advantage of people based upon certain
So,
circumstances.
so what's the law? Like, what's a specific law for
Well, I
gas?
know in the state of Florida is if you have a hurricane that comes through and say there's a scarcity of material and you raise your price, you double or triple your price because it's scarce. You're taking advantage of the people. Then what happens is at that point it becomes not it's not a commerce thing; it's an illegal thing, and that's what's happened on a federal level.
So you're telling me that they're doing something illegal, and
Correct. Yeah.
it's just they're just letting it occur right now. That's what you're
Well,
telling me.
it's not Trump's fault. Is what I'm saying. It's the gas
Oh,
companies charging too much.
okay, so that's why things are more expensive. But when it was
Right.
expensive under Biden, was it Biden's fault?
I supported Biden. I wanted him to do good, But if you look at the price of a barrel of oil, how it translates to gas, it shouldn't be this high, and that's his whole point.
Okay, but again, first of all, I don't know what laws you're referring to because there just are no laws as it relates to gas that I think you can quote.
I can
And
private
sec,
message you the. It's not just gas; it's everything. It's food, it's oil, it's everything. You can't you can't um, own a monopoly on a market and just destroy people at the wherever they're purchasing it. It's like if Walmart were to sell. Say Walmart was
there are no
colluding with other
specific.
corporations. It's a collusion thing. That's what's happening.
It's a
It's
collusion
collusion
thing.
and price gouging.
What's the specific law? Can you cite it though?
Yeah, I'll private message you. I don't have it in front of me.
Okay. All right. Well, if you want to get it and then come back up, we can talk about it. That way, we have something more specific to talk about.
Okay, I'll be back.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. All right, guys. Keep tapping and sharing. We're looking for opposition. Thank you. Hey, if you're enjoying live, make sure you click the follow button on the top left. If you can send in the heart me at the top left, that'd be great. And if you're watching on YouTube, if you want to subscribe as well. Hey, Chill, how you doing?
Hi. I
Hey,
just wanted to, I didn't mean, can you hear
I'm
me?
just look. Yeah, yeah. I am only looking for opposition, though. By the way, people that voted
No,
for
no, no, that's
Trump.
fine. But I just wanted to say because he was talking about that, and I did say in the comments he's referring to something that's about the state of emergency. They're not allowed to or gouge during the state of emergency, but we're not in a
Okay.
state of emergency.
Right, right.
All
Okay.
right.
I appreciate you, Chill. Thank you so much. All right, let me bring it up. Hey, guys, I am just looking for opposition, please. I understand sometimes friendlies want to comment on something that like a guest says. If I know who you are, obviously, you're welcome to come up real quickly to comment on something. If
Oh,
I'm okay with it,
hello.
obviously. Hey, what's going
Oh,
on?
hello.
What's going on?
I don't think gas or groceries have gotten any more expensive. I think they've actually stayed at the same level and gotten a little cheaper.
All right, I just need to know your age first. How old are you?
25.
Okay, so if we look at gas on average, or the average national price when you have some background noise, by the way. I don't know if you're able to lower it, but when Trump
Oh,
came into
sorry.
office, of January 29 or 2024, it was 319 nationwide. Current gas prices, I think at least the other day it was 390. Might be like 380 something right now, 388. So that's certainly going to be higher than 319.
Yeah, but it's not really Trump's fault. It's more, honestly, it's probably more of the American people's fault. Like, I think it's our own people's fault because we buy too much. We buy too much and we spend too much. So, of
Then
course,
why?
prices go up. There's
But
more
then
of a
why did he?
demand.
Why did he promise he would lower gas and groceries?
Well, he did. He did for the longest time, and then we just decided to like this. This is a problem. Everybody should go electric. I think everybody should buy a Tesla because then gas wouldn't really be a problem.
Okay.
Then you can do solar power, and then with the groceries, only get necessities. Don't buy like Cheetos and stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous
Yep.
what people spend money on.
All right, but
That's
that's still,
why
but
groceries are
that's
so
still,
hot.
okay. But that doesn't take away from anything that we're just saying. He said he would lower gas and groceries. Groceries for sure
And
are
he
cheaper.
pretty much
Gro-
did.
but he didn't. He didn't. So like,
Well,
unless you
he
can,
would have if people stopped buying. Like, people buy too much stuff.
hold on. Okay,
Literally, what
but
every
hold on.
family of
Oh my
four
God.
needs
Okay,
is
hold on.
beef,
But he,
chicken.
okay, but listen. If you're telling people that they should be buying this and buying that, I'm sorry, that's never going to happen. He said he would lower them. Okay, you got to hold him accountable. He hasn't
Well,
lowered
he
them.
would have if people would have listened to him.
Who
If
would
you
have listened?
actually followed
What are you talking,
Trump's
Ezekiel?
advice, you'd be rich. You'd have a good
Ezekiel.
family.
No, hey, slow down. Okay, you're telling me that everybody overnight can just stop buying certain foods that you don't want them to buy? Like overnight, that's a possible thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, tell me
Literally, a full
realistically. Tell me
filet
how would
mignon steak.
realistically how would you get the population to stop buying Cheetos? How would you make that happen?
You would tell, like, RFK has a great plan to inform America how bad Red 40 is and how nasty these nasty processed goop gum stuff is. We should give every family should have a mandatory loaf of sourdough bread, a big 4-pound steak, and some water. That's it. That's all you really need in this
How would you
economy. That's
enforce
like
that? How
maybe
would you enforce that? How would
25
you enforce
bucks.
that? How would you enforce
I
that?
I mean, me personally, I would make sure grocery stores only sold certain stuff. Like, I would banish everything that's not a necessity. You
How
know what
would
I
you
mean?
how do we determine what a necessity is? Who determines that?
What your body actually needs versus this goop, this
How do you
this
determine?
this
But I know,
boy
but you're being
goop.
circular. How do you? how do you determine what the body actually needs? And guys, we can get to new guests at 15,000 likes.
Well, because look at us. Our ancient ancestors only ate really meat. I mean, it was really just red meat.
No,
If you
no,
take
they didn't.
look, I can
No,
feed a
that's not true.
family of 8
That's not true.
Mexicans with
Ha-
some corn,
Okay,
bread,
slow down.
cheese,
Hold on.
and steak.
Stop. How would you enforce this, though? How would you force people to buy only this food but not that food?
I mean, seriously, I would go to Costco, Winco, these big. I would go to Walmart. I would go to every big major retail grocery store and banish old goop from
Okay.
anybody can buy.
So,
I would
so you
actually
want
give
the
them.
president? So you want the president to tell grocery stores what they can and can't sell?
That should be an amendment. That should be the 26th Amendment, in my opinion. I think old prisons, and then send that food to old prisons and let them live off the goop.
All right, this isn't
could
a
be the
serious
punishment.
conversation anymore. Plus,
It is serious.
somebody disliked you so much they paid to kick you anyway. So goodbye.
That's
Thank
ridiculous.
you. Well, sorry, don't be stupid. Tammy, thank you for the 20 on Venmo. It says F this kid. He's a complete effing moron. Thank you, Tammy. God damn. Goop. Selling goop. Goy goop, is that what he said? Afternoon, everyone. If you're joining live, click the follow button on the top left. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you send in the heart me as well at the top left. I'd appreciate that. And if you can get the likes on up, that'd be great. Mando, are you there? It's loading. Yes, no, maybe. All right, we are looking for opposition. Anybody that voted for Trump, please hit the request button at the bottom of the screen. All right, thank you, Chris. I appreciate you. And I made a mod chat for all my mods here on TikTok. Make sure if you are a mod of mine and you're not in it, make sure you let me know. Okay. Sam, how are you? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay. And one, how old are you?
19.
All right. You guys both. Well, none of you guys voted for Trump. You wouldn't have been old enough. Why do you guys support Trump?
Well, I think he's making like the necessary steps to sort of like secure the sovereignty and like the integrity of like the Western society and like the entire planet by like interfering with like Iranian nuclear programs, and I feel like that's like a necessary consequence of doing so.
He's protecting the sovereignty? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, like so they have like the potential to like take over other countries when they have nukes.
Iran? When did Iran have nukes?
I'm saying if they develop
this
nukes.
guy.
All right, one at a time here. One at a time.
Yeah, I'm saying like if they have like a nuclear weapons program, well, it's kind of like a pretty trivial inference to say that they'll probably have nukes at some point in time.
But how do you know they had nukes? What evidence was there?
I'm talking about developing nukes, sir. Not that they have nukes.
Okay, but our own
Can I add on
intelligence.
to that, please?
Our own intelligence said they didn't have nukes or any development of it. Sam, yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, as a first world country, I do think our intelligence resources will be very valuable. And as they said, they have been developing nukes, so I think it's very ideal for us to go to war with them to stop that nuclear detergent from being up there.
Detergent.
So you want us to take other countries' resources, just go in and steal their resources?
What?
Well, no, it's more
Well, that's
like
what Sam said. That's what Sam
That's
said.
not what he said. That's not what he said.
Yeah, he suggested that we take people's resources.
Oh, bro, oh my God.
He would just.
Sam wasn't even denying it. Sam didn't even deny it.
Sam doesn't know what he's saying. He was just kind of making
Bro,
the
I
same point
literally
I was.
denied it.
So
I
you
don't
have
want to hear you, bro.
So you're gonna have to now say what Sam said.
That's what I'm saying. He was just making like the same point
I
as me.
think you just didn't like it that he admitted to that. I think that's what you did not like.
Admitted to what, bro?
That he admitted to America taking other
wouldn't-
countries' resources, which we tend to do. Yes.
Wait. Okay, sure, but utility-wise, it wouldn't make sense for us to target Iran. We would just go after like some country that had like a way weaker military. If we wanted to do that.
That's what I was saying. Like, why would the U.S. Army go off to a different country
You
just
mean the
because they want to
military?
go to war with them? Yeah,
You mean
that's
the military,
That's what I
it's
meant.
not
Yeah,
the
my bad.
Okay. So
Like, we are first world war country, and yeah, that's what I think.
all right. Two things. One, guys, 15,000 likes. We can get to a new guest. All right. Secondly, Corey, how you doing? Thirdly, What evidence do you have that they had any nuclear capabilities? Yeah, either of you.
The intelligence from from Israel, from the UK, from the US.
Okay, where was this said? Like, what intelligence said this? Because
What do you think they
ours
were
denied it.
targeting?
Ours denied
Hold
it.
on, hold on. So did they? So first of all, like the main primary evidence would be like Iran themselves. Like the whole conflict was about them not wanting to agree to a nuclear deal. So they kind of just openly admitted that they were trying to
They
develop
didn't
nukes.
say. They never said that they had nukes or any nuclear capabilities.
The whole conflict was prefaced, was underpinned by the fact that they didn't want to agree to a nuclear deal.
Well, why would we go? Why would we go? Yeah, go ahead, Corey. You can go.
No, I'm sorry, Doug. All you.
No, so why would we go to like if we go to a war with a country that has nukes, right? Why don't we go to war with North Korea, for example?
Bro, what? They already have nukes.
Right. So
They're
why
not
don't we go to
developing them.
right? So why don't we go to war? So if they already have it, then even more of a reason, right?
No,
at that
they were
point,
the end of the world, mate.
yeah, that's the whole point. When the whole point of like the intervention in Iran is that past a certain threshold, when they actually develop these nuclear weapons, you're not going to be able to do anything to these countries when they have Iran's fundamentalists running them.
I just want you to cite any intelligence that said that they had nuclear capabilities.
They
admitted
them. No,
when?
you didn't say
Where?
that.
When?
No, sir, you're confused. You're confused.
Where?
Sir.
Just tell me where it was said. Where and by who?
Hold on. So, do you think Iran have the potency to build nuclear weapons?
Where? Whose intelligence said so? That's all I'm asking.
They themselves. You don't need intelligence to something that they openly admit. That's the whole conflict.
Okay, great. So when did Iran say it?
When they disagreed with the U.S. on diplomatic relations to agree to a nuclear deal.
That's not evidence that they nuclear. Yeah.
When did Iran disagree to a nuclear deal with the United States?
Like maybe 3-4 times.
He knows he's lost.
No. Name a single time. Name a single time, because what we have over the past year are examples of the United States bombing them while they were at the negotiating table. Beyond that, we had the JCPOA, which they negotiated with the United States, which was a nuclear deal again. So let's see here. We've got Iran consistently looking to negotiate with the United States, and the United States being unwilling to or actually untrustworthy during this stuff. So how is that evidence that Iran was developing nuclear weapons?
Yeah, so first of all, that's like a complete assertion. Like you haven't like given any evidence of that being the case. Second of all, why would the US hold on.
Would you like me to pull up?
Yeah, after this. Let me just finish.
No. You just made an assertion. So would you like me to pull up?
No, I said that you made an assertion. That's not an assertion, sir.
One at a time.
Yeah, let me finish. I'm trying to finish.
We're on the same team, you guys.
Yeah, so Corey, I just said that you were making an assertion. That is an assertion in of itself. And the second point is that why would the U.S. coherently disagree to Iran not wanting to develop nuclear weapons when the entire conflict was about that? Doesn't really make sense.
So again, the United States intelligence in 2025 openly stated that Iran was not developing nuclear weapons and had not restarted their nuclear weapons program in 2003. Beyond that, beyond that, Tulsi Gabbard openly told Congress that despite all the evidence to the contrary, Trump is the one who makes the final call. So, that needs to be very clearly stated. Beyond that, we have Iran repeatedly stating we are looking forward to additional talks with the United States days before the United States bombed them again.
Right. So that was.
I'm waiting for how that is evidence that Iran was developing nuclear weapons when our own intelligence openly stated Iran had not restarted their nuclear weapons program that they discontinued in 2003. And also,
I'm gonna have to fact check that.
So why would we go to war with them then?
Yeah, so this is going to be from Iran's Nuclear Weapons Capability and Terrorism Monitoring Act of 2002, Office of the Director of National Intelligence, posted July 2024.
Here, let's see.
Wait, hold on. This actually wrong source. Give me a second. Let me pull up the other source, the actual ODNI report, because this is only a 3-page document.
Yeah, but Corey, okay, get that up. But surely you understand that what you're saying isn't really coherent, right? Like, if they had a negotiating table, why would they bomb them in the midst of negotiating?
Well, because Donald Trump's not trustworthy and did not care about the nuclear weapons at all. Like, that's the
doesn't make sense. I'm asking, what is the motivator? Like, would you just say it's like their resources?
Donald Trump being tricked by Israel, as well as trying to distract the American people from the Epstein files, which has been successfully done so far because nobody's talking about Epstein anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting.
Let's see here. Pulling up Iran. So this is actually from a longer document, and this is the unclassified report. of annual threat assessment by the U.S. Annual threat assessment of the U.S. intelligence community, posted March 2025. In it, they state that Iran has not restarted their nuclear weapons program, even though there would be additional pressure from the United States for them to do so. They had not done so. So we've got our own intelligence clearly stating that Iran had not restarted their nuclear weapons program.
Corey, can I add here?
I'll fact check it in a sec. Give me a
Guys,
second.
we're at
I'm just loading my
15,000 likes. 15,000 likes, new guest, guys. We're looking for opposition.
Okay, let's see.
I just want to add here. So, why do you think we went to war with them then? Like, what was the main objective then?
Literally, I literally just said there was no objective.
You just went over that.
So you're saying our government went to war with RM, no reason?
Yeah, our government went to war with Iran for no reason, and like they literally fired people over this because like they fired people in our intelligence community. People left because of it, as well as they fired the Army Chief of Staff.
Don't you know that's a crazy statement to say?
Because both our military and our intelligence experts were like, "Hey, don't do this."
So we are probably the country with the best army in the world, and we're going to Iran.
Military. You keep saying army. Military.
But yeah, we have the largest military in the world. I would say most people would agree who like actually have seen the U.S. military in action is that like, and I say this as a veteran too. There are better militaries that are better at what they do, and also if you think war is just who has the biggest military, then you don't understand war any more than Trump does. Oh, okay. Bye.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I'm just getting it up on my computer now. Yeah. All I'm saying is, I just feel like it's much more coherent to think that Trump didn't just get tricked by Israel, whatever that even means, and like they actually did have like a actual motivator. Cause like a global inflation.
But our own intelligence said that there was no motivation. Tulsi Gabbard's leaving her position or being fired. Let's be honest with ourselves. After she got grilled by Congress for openly saying there was no information for this, there was no good reason to do this. Trump just made the final call, and it's his he has that authority to do so.
Yeah, same with what's his face. Who's the other guy he fired? I can't think of his name. Joel something.
Joe Kent.
Joe Kent. Yeah.
Okay. So you said it was the 2025 intelligence statistic.
Annual threat assessment from our intelligence, and you can look at the Iran section specifically, where it discusses. In terms of weapons of mass destruction, Iran had not restarted their nuclear weapons program. However, they were likely still engaging in research in chemical and biological warfare.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, hold on. Wait. So they were probably researching chemical and biological warfare. What?
So do we. So I mean, but beyond that, but we didn't go to war over stuff like that, and like for you to act like that's a justification, it's not.
Yeah, we did. We did go to war over stuff like that. We went to war.
Really? When was the last time we went to war over chemical weapons?
Iraq. What do you mean? The main motivator for that war was weapons of mass destruction in the context of like biological and chemical weapons.
Which didn't exist, and which didn't exist. So
yes, and that was the motivator.
So I just find this interesting. So what you're saying is, hey, we went to war with Iraq over lies. We went to war with Iran over lies, and you still don't know how you're being lied to. This is a very terrible.
What?
Wait, do you still believe that wasn't a lie?
No.
Okay. Okay, so that was a lie, right? But that's going to war with Iraq was just a lie, right?
Yeah, that it was like false intelligence. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, and this one's not a lie.
Oh no, because I know for a fact that there is Islamist fundamentalists. Like the whole point of Stuxnet was to like disable their nuclear weapons program. Like we know for a fact that they have like a history of doing this. So to like make the induction that they're probably gonna do the same thing again, I don't know, man. It seems pretty reasonable.
Again, they haven't done anything since around 2003. The only people claiming otherwise is Israel, and Israel's not trustworthy.
And they've been saying that for a long time now. They've been making that same claim.
Well, you can get another guest up while I just like fact test this. Give me a sec.
Fact test it. Okay. I need to restart because we have a restriction for bowling and harassment, guys. We were very mean to the guests. So unfortunately, I do have to restart, but it's going to be very quick, guys. I'm going to end it and then restart. It's going to be 2 seconds. Make sure you follow me really quickly if you don't already. I'm literally going to be back in 2 seconds, okay? Sorry, don't blame me. All right, we are back. Sorry, YouTubers. You guys got to wait on it. All right. All right, I am back. Told you guys it would be quick. I do recommend you guys get this fidget spinner thing, though. This fidget toy, it's very, very fun. It's really cool. You just a little clicky thing, and you can spin it, too. This thing spins for a long-ass time. I should make an advertisement for it. All right, morning to those to the left of the East Coast. Good afternoon to those to the East Coast and beyond. What's up, Tommy? How are you? Is that, yeah, I got this on the TikTok shop. One of the paid advertisement things got me. It was a really good video. It really got me. But I'm a sucker for fidget toys anyway, so it's not like they really had to try hard. Left coast is the beast. All right, guys, keep tapping and sharing, please. Make sure you send in the heart me as well. Hey, Draco, how are you doing?
What's going on, man?
Not much. I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
Sure thing. I'm 22.
Cool. What's up?
Yeah, I saw the comment when I came in. Trump supporters click the plus guest button, so I thought I'd come up. Just responding to the background, I definitely don't agree with Trump on his economic policy, so I don't know if I'll be able to respond to that directly in a way that's going to foster like a good back and forth. But
did you vote for him?
I am a Trump supporter. Yeah.
You voted for him? Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you currently support him, or do you currently support him still?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that? Why do you currently still support him?
I currently support him because I believe that it's imperative that we maintain sex-based boundaries, protections, and provisions in our society so that the oppressed class of females can participate fairly and away from male pattern perpetration of sexual and violent crime.
That's your most important thing going on?
We've spoken to Draco.
Yeah, I think sex-based rights are incredibly important, yeah.
We've spoken to Draco on this topic before, I believe.
Boy, oh boy. Why is this the most important issue out of everything?
Because sex-based boundaries are absolutely imperative for both genders to be able to participate in society fairly.
And how have trans people been harming that? What crime do they commit more of that we should base this off of?
It's not a crime that they commit more of. It's that gender identity is being recognized as a category of non-discrimination. And so implementing sex-based safeguards, protections, and provisions, by nature of those protections, it would discriminate against gender identities because it would be affirming that like a male person isn't a woman or a female person can't be a man, right? And so on the basis of those discrimination laws, we're unable to uphold safeguards on the basis of sex and allow spaces where females can have the expectation away from all males.
Hey guys, we can get to new guests at 10,000 likes, but yeah, like what harm is going to be done by that? Like, what can we objectively measure that would be harmful by this?
Yeah, the harm is going to be like the fact that when we have spaces where women are typically in states of vulnerability, undress, and fleeing male violence, they're going to be unable to have that guarantee away from the opposite sex that perpetrates those types of crimes in the vast majority, right? That's the harm. Okay, we can't uphold the boundaries.
But if that were the case, why don't we
safeguards?
But why don't we see these crimes happening more then? Like, shouldn't you base it off of something that's already occurring?
Yeah, sure. So how many, like, what would be a number that you would like to see before we went back to maintaining those sex-based provisions? What would satisfy you for a degree of harm that is perpetrated that would, like, satisfy your... I
would just like to see trans people just in general having a statistically higher difference of crimes being done to cis women than we see cis men doing.
Yeah, for sure. I will just say I didn't say anything about
like trans women specifically. I'm talking about male people perpetrating these types of crimes. So I just want to highlight when we're talking about like who or what is doing these, we're talking about male people. I'm not saying anything about trans women. I'm talking about all male people.
Well, somebody disliked you so much they paid to kick you. David, thank you for the 20 on Venmo. It says, cannot wait to, I don't want to wait until 10,000 likes. Fair enough. You, David.
I had a question for him though. My question was going to be, where do trans people who disproportionately experience more sexual violence, where did they go to escape sexual violence?
I don't think that would matter to him. I think he just wants it to be separated based on sex, and that's it. But wouldn't be a runner. A runner would be me kicking you for no reason, but you got paid to kick. And secondly, we've spoken before. As Erica said, we have spoken before. But it sounds like you
And he
just
made
wanted
the
to
exact
separate
same
them
argument. He made
based
the
on sex,
exact
and that's
same
it.
argument. He made the exact same argument last time.
Yeah, I just don't know why this is such a big obsession. I cannot understand why this is such an important issue to you that, like, that's why you voted for him. Like, nothing else. That's why you voted for him. You're good, David. I'd rather have no ops than him. But we are looking for opposition, guys. If you voted for Trump, make sure you hit the request button at the bottom of the screen. If you're watching on the tube, make sure you subscribe. Hello.
Yo, I was just gonna answer Erica's follow-up question and hop down. If that's all right.
How old are you?
I'm 22. It's this previous
All
guy.
right.
Doug, it's the guy that came up before. He's up on another.
I was gonna answer Erica's follow.
Oh, he was that same guy? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's just going to keep coming up under different accounts. So, no, okay. Listen, man, you got to respect the pay to kick. That's just how it is.
For someone who's so bothered about respecting people's consent, he doesn't seem to respect people's consent, does he? Which is
I don't think
which
he
is
actually
wild.
cares about people's consent. It's a make believe thing that it's fake compassion. That's all it is. It's not real. It's not real at all. Oh shit! Yeah, one more. I'll bring it up. My bad. What do you got? I don't even remember. What were we talking about? Iran?
Yeah.
What's up? What do you got?
Yeah, we're talking about Iran. Yeah, so he was saying that they didn't have evidence of them like actively developing nuclear weapons, but at the same time, so he was right on that. But at the same time, they were like fixing their centrifuges, and they were creating more enriched uranium that they would ever need to like facilitate their population. And at the same time, they were developing like biological weapons. So I don't really see why you wouldn't make like the inference that they were probably going to try and build nuclear weapons.
Yeah, I'll let Corey respond since he was the one that brought her up.
Hi.
What's up, Corey?
Hi, everybody. Hope you're all having a great day. Erica, always a pleasure to see you. So, again, there is no evidence that they had restarted their nuclear weapons program. Basing that off of a vibe and starting a war off of a vibe is incredibly fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And
So
you cannot claim that a country developing doing research into chemical and biological weapons, the same way the United States does and many other countries do, right, is not a threat to the United States inherently. So you cannot start a war based off of a threat that has not been shown to actually exist.
Okay, so what we're not gonna do here is just like talk to ourselves. Could you recite like a single word I said, like the past like 2 minutes?
You came up here and said I was right about how they weren't developing their nuclear weapons program. However, they were repairing their centrifuges, which, by the way,
No, I didn't say repairing. First of all, what?
you did actually. You said repairing.
I didn't say the word.
No, you absolutely did say they were repairing their centrifuges.
No, I didn't say.
One, I have a question. So
No,
one, you wanted to hold.
you did.
So one, were you not listening to yourself when you tried to make points? Because it turns out one of us was listening and it wasn't you.
No, that's not what I said.
It is what you said.
Okay,
again,
hang on.
If you just,
Stop
I'm pretty
for a
sure we have a
second.
clip of the live.
You need to stop. You don't know me, but the comments section will tell you. I remember fucking everything everybody says. You
Yeah, you
said
do.
they were said they were repairing their centrifuges. You might not have meant to say that, but that is what you said.
Yeah. Anyway, that's like besides the point. So
But you wait. If it's beside the point, then why did you decide to get bogged down on it, my guy? Like you're the one who decided to make it a point.
no, because I'm not. I don't want to just stagnate the whole conversation like on this. Like I don't really care.
Okay.
So anyway,
don't.
So anyway, the point was they were like producing more centrifuges, and at the same time they were creating more enriched uranium that they would ever need to facilitate their population or any like energy requirements that they would like need. So why would they do that outside of? Hold on. So why would they do that outside of just like developing nuclear weapons?
Oh yeah. So, for example, they were enriching uranium for medical purposes, including isotopes.
Dude, what
They use
on earth
yeah,
are you
that's what.
talking
Yeah,
about?
so that's what 60% enriched uranium is used for. Both
Yeah,
the Russians
so
and the Chinese, both Russia and China, who Iran has based their nuclear enrichment off of, utilize isotopes derived from 60% enriched uranium. While in the developed world, most people are moving away from that particular method of production, China has not yet done so. And again, Iran, still being in the infancy of its nuclear program, would likely be going down that same path as well. So you
yeah,
can make the claim that there's a possibility of them developing nuclear weapons. However, there's nothing to indicate that because even if they had enriched uranium up to 60%, they didn't have a delivery mechanism. And they didn't have also didn't have shoot, I'm blanking on the other thing that it's called. But long story short, they hadn't even accomplished one of the three main things you need to develop a nuclear weapon. And there is plausible reasons for them to have enriched uranium beyond at to 60%, as well as there's no limitation on or currently put on them to keep them from enriching uranium to 60% because Donald Trump pulled us out of the JCPOA.
yeah. So okay. So first of all, like that's just so funny. Like you said that they were doing it for medical reasons. Okay, could you like explain? First of all, could you explain like the medical reason that they would need like a huge excess of enriched uranium?
I literally already did.
You just went over that.
So I want to point out, you came at me and said I wasn't listening. I literally just explained why 60% enriched uranium is used for this. So there is medical scanning equipment, as well as there are isotopes that you get from enriching uranium to around 60% that can be used for medical research and other medical applications. This is used by both Russia and China.
Yeah. So did you hear my question? Hold on. Did you hear my question? I said what medical application?
Both these countries, and by the way, I have control of the mute button. So if you're going to try and interrupt me while I'm answering your question, it's just not going to go well for you.
Guys, we're at 10,000 likes, new guest, all right? If you guys want anyone to have a little quicker.
The whole thing here is that there are medical applications for this. This is agreed upon by everybody who looks into this. Now, again, if you don't think that that's what they were actually doing, right? This would require investigation, not invasion. And if you were mad about them enriching uranium up to 60%, well, then you probably shouldn't pull us out of the JCPOA, which kept them to 3.7%.
Yeah. So can I respond now?
Go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, I don't think you heard my question. I actually asked you for a specific application medically of like what they would use it for. But again, I don't care.
Literally said medical scanning equipment.
Yes,
Literally
it's medical. It's medical
I
ratio.
don't care. I don't
it's-
care. Okay.
It's
So-
well,
so
you
do
do care because you
know
asked.
the
It's
excess-
medical radioisotopes. Yes, it is for scanning and cancer treatments.
So hold on. So do you think that the amount of excess uranium that they produced is going to be like proportional to like how much they would need for scanning equipment?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay, so why the hell would you think that they're doing it specifically for scanning equipment when they are rapidly producing more of it without seemingly like having any goal in mind?
Well,
Like they're just producing.
Hold
it
on. The idea that they're rapidly producing more of it's a bit of a misnomer. But beyond that, because you'd have to tell me how much they produce and like if this has actually been heavily accelerated. I point out real quickly that once again, under the JCPOA, which Iran held to, they were kept at 3.6% or 3.7%. I kind of forget which decimal we get to for enrichment. So again, like if you're concerned with that, right, then Trump probably shouldn't have pulled us out of a deal that they were, upholding. Beyond that, though, there are plenty of plausible reasons for them enriching uranium to 60%. And even if you don't care about the other plausible reasons, Iran did not have a delivery mechanism for a nuclear weapon. So, like 60% is not even weapons grade, but let's pretend for the sake of discussion that it is. They didn't have any ability to move or to actually deliver nuclear material from one location to another in a weaponized fashion, which is kind of hard, like kind of necessary for nuclear weapons, my guy.
Guys, keep
So
tapping. If you want
the
new guest,
max-
10,000 likes, new guest.
The max enrichment threshold for GCPOA was 3.67%. I don't know where you got 60% from, and I don't think there's any medical like application where you would need 60% enrichment for uranium. You wouldn't even need uranium at all for like any medical apparatus.
So apparently you're just not listening, which is making again everybody 10K likes, and you can get him off of here, because again, I literally said that under the JCPOA they did not enrich uranium beyond the 3.6%. Beyond that, I said if you didn't want them enriching uranium to 60%, then we shouldn't have withdrawn from the JCPOA. Right? Those are the things I said, you silly
No, my
goose.
point is they don't care. My point is that they don't care, and they would just
They
keep
did,
on
though.
doing it.
Wait, if they didn't care, then why did they uphold their end of the JCPOA?
I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about that because I'm really
Almost like, it's almost like that in conjunction with everything else that's been discussed, including the fact that nuclear weapons are fatwa to the Iranians, right? That they actually didn't have any interest in developing nuclear weapons. It's almost like
wait. So hold on. The country
besides Israel is saying would understand this.
So hold on. The country with a historical record of developing biological, chemical, and nuclear weapons don't have any interest of like creating nuclear weapons in the future.
They have a history of developing nuclear. I'm sorry, Erica. All you.
No, I was just going to ask the question: when did they develop a nuclear weapon?
Do you know? Okay, so there's a distinction between developing a nuclear weapon and actually getting the finality of that development, right? They had programs in which they were trying to develop a nuclear weapon. I don't know why this is so hard for you.
Well, when were those programs discontinued?
2003, but again, I said it's a.
So let's
I said
see
a
here.
couple.
We're looking at 20. So you're saying a history of it, but they haven't engaged in it in 23 years.
Yeah, again, why would that matter?
They haven't restarted it.
Why would that matter? They've already like practically shown that they have the capability to start developing nuclear weapons. Why do you not think that? Why do you not think that, coupled with their expressed intent to bring death to Americans in Israel and these other countries,
Yeah, okay.
that
Do
they
you
wouldn't
understand-
do the same thing? Again, I don't know why this is so hard.
No, I'm interrupting you because I literally have spoken for 2 seconds. When they say unalive to America, what do they mean?
I don't know. Like, I would just take it at face value.
Why?
They want to
Because
unalive.
they've explained what it means. We all know what it means because there's they're not talking about Americans. They're talking about this imperialistic culture that is that has been in and by the way, the exact same thing that a ton of other groups have said in the past. They don't really want Western influence in their area of the world, as I'm sure the United States doesn't want Iranian influence in the United States. When they say that phrase, they don't mean unalive Americans. They mean they don't want intervention from Western. They've been intervened with enough. Like, when does it get to the point where we say, do you know what? We've fucked around in these countries and we've found out, let's just leave them the fuck alone.
Yeah, sure. I would just say, like them saying death to America, coupled with the fact that they are Islamist fundamentalists and they believe in all of these disgusting practices in their religious texts.
What disgusting practices?
Oh, like stoning the
By the way,
non-believers.
that's in the Bible. By the way, that's also in the Bible.
What relevance does this have to do with absolutely anything?
Well,
How do you not know the relevance of that?
Because you don't know the distinction between a fundamentalist and like a secular state.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. What's the main Islamic text called?
The Quran.
Okay, what are the other two called?
The Hadiths and like something else. I don't know. That's besides the point.
Why is it beside the point?
Because I can still know like content of whatever it is that belongs within the set of what they believe.
What sect of Islam is predominant in Iran?
It's either Sunni or Shia. I would say.
One of the two, huh?
Yeah, that has nothing to do. They believe in the same things mostly.
No.
It's like different denominations of Christianity. They still believe in like generally the same things.
Well, kind of not.
Okay. Anyway, the point is when people that follow these practices say death to America, I'm not going to believe in their absolute nonsense in terms of like intervention in the U.S. and like foreign politics. Like I'm going to take it as how they mean it. In the context of what they believe in. Like I'm not going to. I don't know why you're special.
Hang on. Okay. I'm going to ask a question then. What's the greater jihad and what's the lesser jihad in Islam?
What relevance does that have to do?
This has huge relevance.
Okay, the greater and
What's the no, don't search it up. Why, if you know all about this and you know about Islamic fundamentalism, why don't you know this already? How old are you, by the way?
Wait, what kind of non sequitur is that? I don't know absolutely everything about Islamic fundamentalism.
You sound about 14.
Point out
Yeah,
that
anyway, that is just red herring. That's not like the
it's not a red herring. That's actually a pretty fair point. Erica, can I make a point real quickly?
Of course you can.
It's not a fair point at all. No,
I was talk about this major danger of Islamic fundamentalism. But Islamic fundamentalism has no power structure in the United States. The Islamic fundamentalists don't really have the ability to hurt the United States on our own soil. And when they say that to America, they very clearly explain they're kind of pissed off about American colonialism and imperialism, which consistently messes with their countries, like what we did with Iran when we we installed the Shah and removed a democratically elected government there back in the 1950s. But I find it interesting that you focus so much on Islamic fundamentalism and not the Christian fundamentalists who are growing in power in the United States right now, attempting to strip Americans of their rights, and who took part in a fucking coup in 2021.
Yeah, I think that's also a problem.
Cool. Then focus on that instead of starting wars with countries that doesn't have the ability to hurt us and using the justification of their religion. Because it's obvious that the threat to the United States is not Islamic fundamentalism, but Christian fundamentalism.
No. I don't know why you think those two are mutually exclusive. That just doesn't make any sense. At the same time, I think they should. So first of all, no, I completely disagree with you on what they mean by when they say death to America. And second of all,
it's disagreeing with what they say.
I disagree with what they're saying.
When we say death to America, this is what we mean by that. And it's pretty obvious in both their motivation and their actions. Because again, Iran hasn't gone after the United States. They've only tried to maintain regional power and weaken the United States' position in the Middle East because they don't want us in the Middle East because nobody wants us in the fucking Middle East besides Republicans.
Yeah, I think that they should be intervening. I think they should be intervening with.
Hang on, Corey. Israel also wants the United States in the Middle East. That's the other group of people that want the United States in the Middle East. And I just think it's.
I think the goal is 10,000 likes, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, let's just. All right, see ya. Bye.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to know one. All right, guys, we are looking for opposition. Okay, keep tapping and sharing if you can, and make sure you give Corey and Erica a follow if you're enjoying live. Laws, how you doing? Are you there?
I am. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm only looking for opposition. By the way, are you opposition?
Okay. No worries. I'm not. I'm a Democrat. But thank you for letting me come up.
Yeah. Let me go and bring you back down. But yeah, guys, just looking for opposition. But yeah, thank you. Let me get to the next one. All right, we don't have anybody else in the request box, it looks like. So I guess if we can start inviting people on up, that'd be great. How are you doing today, Erica?
I'm fine. I've just bought a new gadget for my face. So
a gadget? What sort of gadget?
It's like a thing that emits different color light. So it apparently boosts the effectiveness of your skincare. It's
so
not
like a red light therapy thing? Or?
Well, it does a ton of different colors. Sure, cool. Listen, I can spend my money on what I want to spend my money on. RW. No, it's not a mask. I do have a red light LED mask, which I found to be very effective, actually. So, yeah. No, this is a Medicube thing. I've bought it off the TikTok shop.
The TikTok shop has gotten me before, too. Got me with this fidget toy here.
We here on TikTok Live do love the TikTok shop, and we always encourage you to go to the TikTok shop. We love TikTok and the shop.
Oh, yes, we love it.
Deb says, I'm opposition. You've been drinking the Kool-Aid. That's not how Kool-Aid's spelled. And don't even understand the facts.
Deb, you can come on up.
Spelling, though, Deb.
All right. Well, Deb, you can come on up. The request button's there at the bottom. You don't have an invite button, so we can't really invite you on up, but you can invite yourself on up, okay? All right. And if you're watching on the tube, make sure you subscribe there as well, okay? You having a good day, Corey?
It's it's a good start to the day so far.
Good. Happy to hear it.
Chicago had their Pride Parade yesterday, and it was 4 hours long. And I was unprepared for that, so I may have gotten slightly sunburned, but it's good.
Were you in the city in the city of Chicago?
Yeah, I
Or
was. So they do it through like Lakeview and like Boys Town. So like
oh
that's
yeah,
where we
yeah,
were.
yeah, yeah. I lived there for a little bit. I lived off Halsted and Barry. I think the cross streets were
Oh,
Halsted
nice.
and Barry.
Yeah.
Or Broadway and Barry. Or I think that's yeah. So I lived in that area for a bit, but it was cool. I enjoyed it. That was years ago. That was back in like 2008 or 9 or something like that.
Very different area. Okay.
Yeah, yes. But no, Boys Town absolutely existed back then, for sure.
Is it new or is it very appropriate that a pride parade is in Boys Town?
Yeah, I mean it's very, very fitting.
Well, Erica, Erica, if you would like to know why it's called Boys Town, I'll happily explain that to you. But it's incredibly necessary that it's there.
Well, Kat, I don't know. I mean, it was probably cheap compared to now back then, but it still wasn't cheap back then. I doubt. Um, I don't know how much it was because I was a kid at the time or a teenager. But... All right, guys. Once again, we are looking for ops, though. Okay, so if you voted for Trump, there's a request button at the bottom of the screen. I would imagine. Well, I'm going to look at why is it called Boys Town. I mean, I like to think it's kind of self-explanatory.
I mean,
Why?
they paint the sidewalks and the streets rainbow. If anyone
Well,
reads,
yeah. No, I mean, I just figured it's boy. Well, okay. It was coined in the 1980s by a local LGBTQ plus newspaper columnist, Rex Wagner. It was a playful nod to the 1938 classic Spencer Tracy film, Boys Town. Never heard of it, but okay. Interesting. And in 97, it became the first officially recognized gay village in the United States. That's interesting. That I did
Oh,
not know.
good. I can invite
No.
this person up. I shall invite them up because they are chirping. I bet they don't accept.
I could not tell their position. So I'm like, are they friendly or are they ops or are they just rambling?
Which one was it?
Spaguta.
Oh.
Oh, well, I've invited them up twice and they're not coming up. So I think maybe they don't need their First Amendment anymore.
Then they're going to get angry that you muted them. It's
Oh,
not his
well.
job. Well, Larry, then why did you guys constantly say Biden was responsible for raising gas and grocery prices? Can't have it both ways, man. You guys seriously cannot have it both ways. And if you guys want to join Discord, the link to that's in my bio. I do announce there ahead of time when I go live, and we have a good community there. If the link doesn't work for you, just put it in the browser, and then it should work for most people.
You got your air conditioning on, Dougie?
Yeah.
Thought so.
It is on. I know. I'm really going to have to move where the desk is, because too many people comment on it, and I'm afraid it's like just loud enough where it discourages people from not wanting to be in here. I understand it's probably not that loud, right?
It's not
But
that loud. I was about to tell Corey off and tell him to mute when he's not talking, and it's not him, it's you.
no, it's me. It's me. It's nothing I can do. The thing's like really right above the desk. It's not blocking it won't work. It's the noise of it that's doing it. Yeah. It doesn't matter what I put above it. Like you can hear the noise. So if I was further away, it might help. All right, let's bring this guest up over here. Hi, Fry Guy.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going. I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
50.
All right. And did you vote for Trump?
I did.
All right. Do you currently support how he is doing economically?
Man, my patience is thin, but I do believe that we're going to get where we need to go with what he's doing, yes.
Okay. What do you think is going to happen? Like, what do you think he's going to be able to do? What are you hoping he's going to be able to do?
Well, this Iran conflict couldn't have been timed worse, especially coming off of, all the policy changes from the previous administration to this one, those going in. Stock market doing real well. Inflation still high. And then that Iranian conflict definitely hurt the last couple of months. I think the last thing that anybody needed was $4 a gallon gasoline. And that obviously hurt inflation also, because it raises everything. Everything's got to be transported. I'm optimistic, though. Just in the last couple of weeks, price per barrel is down $20, $25. That's a good indicator that things could get better.
Okay,
But
so
life's
as far as
tough right now.
do you what do you think he's done for the economy in general? Like what I know a
Oh,
lot of people voted for him for the economy, right? So like what is it that he's going to be
yeah.
able to better specifically?
Yeah, definitely fairer trade practices. I completely supported the tariffs. I accept the fact that the courts stomped them, and that's what makes America great.
What did you like
So
what did you like
I don't have a problem with that.
what did you like about the
But
tariffs?
number one, you got to level the playing field. When you've got European countries that tariff our American automobiles at 5 times the level that we tariff European automobiles, that's just not fair. That's not fair to our workers. It's not fair to our auto industry. There's tons of examples of that. For instance, up until last month, if you wanted a Maine lobster, you had to buy it from a Canadian fisherman. Well, that just doesn't make sense to me.
So
So getting rid of the regulations, the tariffs were
what are you hoping
designed.
Yeah, so like, what do you
Mhm,
think is going to improve specifically because of the tariffs, right? Like, I know one of the reasons people said is that we're going to
mhm.
have a lot more income, right? There's going to be a lot more coming in. That was one of people's reasons, or people said it was going to make things cheaper eventually. Was that one of your reasons of why you like tariffs?
I like the tariffs because it's going to make the trade fair. See, the whole purpose of a tariff, in my opinion, and there's other philosophers that
But
have a completely different one. Go back to the Smoot, you know what I mean? Back in 1300. But, I believe that tariffs make trade fair. So the whole purpose of a tariff, right, is to
mhm.
devalue your product and add value to mine. That's
But
the whole
what's that?
purpose of it.
But what's that going to do to the products coming in here, though? As far as the average
It'll make
person paying
them.
for them,
It will devalue them.
it would
Just
raise.
like how other countries do to our products. Canada's got tariffs on our wood that devalues the value of our wood going into Canada. We don't carry those, or we didn't carry those same tariffs coming across, so Canadian lumber was more valuable to us. It's just
Yeah, you
to
can go,
me, it's
Corey.
just add value or decrease value
Yeah,
of
go
a
ahead, Corey.
product.
Okay, so a number of things wrong there. First of all,
Oh,
tariffs do not raise the value of foreign goods. Sorry, they don't lower the value of foreign goods. They raise the cost of foreign goods, oftentimes to degrees that are then more expensive than American goods. It doesn't lower the cost of American goods. So all they do is make you have to pay more no matter what, which is why a blanket tariff never works. We can get into so many of the things you're pointing out, but there's a reason we use Canadian lumber. It's because U.S., like a lot of the trees in the United States, cannot be used for adequate lumber or construction, right? Like, there is a reason why we have trade between countries. We don't have everything. We don't manufacture everything. And some of the stuff we manufacture simply isn't valuable outside the United States. For example, you brought up our automobile industry. What is the only automobile that we realistically produce in the United States these days?
are you referring to manufacturing? Most of them.
It's SUVs. The vehicle type that we primarily manufacture in the United States is SUVs. That's like our niche. You can't drive an
Yeah,
SUV or a pickup truck in Europe. They don't have the
but
roads.
before, right,
So
Corey,
tariffs
before we
don't
move
make any
on,
sense there. So you're bringing up,
yeah, before we move,
hold on. But
yeah,
you're bringing up your arguments for these products, and they're very clearly scripted. But they don't understand the overall base of this, and none of this makes trade fair, right? We actually had fair trade before this. We had better trade deals that worked out for everybody. There were targeted tariffs on specific industries to help us maintain industries that we wanted to grow, and also allow us to participate in global trade, maintaining both trade surpluses with some countries and trade deficits with others. Because again, we are a like our manufacturing niche is not going to be raw materials or raw goods, but primarily high-end finished goods that we then sell to other people. So none of what you're saying addresses any of that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you definitely put a lot out there, and I could see things your way. But let's circle back around to where you started about how tariffs can either value or devalue a product. Now, part of value is how much does it cost. If I can buy 12 strawberries for $10 from Mexico, right? But those same 12 strawberries cost me $15 here in the United States, which one holds better value?
Yeah, but that's the problem that you don't seem to understand. Obviously,
Okay, you could have stopped it. Yeah,
you're going to buy the
either you
cheaper
understood
strawberry.
what I'm saying,
Either
or you
you're going to
don't, Corey.
Hold
Corey,
on, I'm answering your question.
no,
First of all,
no, Corey, we have to find common ground
I refuse to find common ground
at
with
that
it.
point.
The problem here is
At that point.
the things that you don't understand right now is I agree with you, right? If the strawberries are cheap, if the strawberries are cheaper from Mexico, then you're going to buy the cheaper product typically. If it's the same product but one is going to be cheaper than the other, you're going to buy that. All tariffs do is raise the cost of those Mexican-grown strawberries to a point where they're higher priced than the American-grown strawberries, which means we're paying more money for the same product no matter what, and it doesn't actually benefit us. Like, you get this, right? You're just making the American poorer.
Correct. Okay, I get that, and now I feel like we're on the same page, and you do understand that value can equate to price. Okay, and like I said when I opened up, I look at the tariffs as a value or devaluing tool, and you agree with me. You agree with me. Because cost of it,
tariffs
Corey,
can only be used. Hold on, Fry Guy, I want to point this out. Tariffs can be useful if you do targeted tariffs, not blanket tariffs on every single good. You get that, right?
Hey, guys, we can get to new guests at 25,000 likes, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And when the tariffs were originally initiated, he wasn't doing blanket tariffs.
They were
He
blanket
was
tariffs.
doing targeted tariffs, but that
No,
got
he campaigned-
outlawed.
Wrong. Fry Guy, he
Yes, he
campaigned
did.
on blanket tariffs. He campaigned
That was
on
one
it.
of his big things.
It was always blanket tariffs. It's
You
always
can't blanket tariff when you're asking every country to come to the table and negotiate with you. That's
literal
not the
blanket tariff.
definition of a blanket
If
tariff.
you put
No.
go ahead, Erica. Sorry.
I was going to say it's a blanket tariff when you put a tariff on everything. You can do blanket tariffs on an individual country. The blanket tariff, the blanket term, when we're talking about tariffs, means you're tariffing everything. You can do that from just one country or from all countries. But the fact is, he doesn't even know what trade deals you had in place and what countries you have a trade deficit or a trade surplus with. He just went around throwing tariffs at countries like a man possessed. It was wild.
Yeah. He ran it was a 10% baseline on all global imports. And then for certain countries, like China, 25%. 25,000 likes, guys. New guest, okay? Keep tapping and keep sharing. Go ahead, Fry. Fry, you can go.
Absolutely. And honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the blanket tariffs. I did like the more targeted approach that, like I said, he lost in the courts and he's not able to do. So now all we can do is just do a blanket tariff across the board, which is what he is doing. And I don't think that accomplishes what I wanted to see get accomplished via tariffs.
Wrong. You're wrong. It wasn't targeted tariffs that he lost on in court. It was blanket tariffs that he lost on in court.
Exactly.
You already had targeted tariffs on certain things, like, and everyone's going to laugh when I say this because of the way I say it, but you already had targeted tariffs on things like aluminium. You already had targeted tariffs on things like steel. They were perfectly legal prior to this presidency of Donald Trump's. What the Supreme Court overruled was putting in blanket tariffs without consulting Congress.
By the way,
that's how she pronounces aluminum, guys. It's people pronounce it differently.
It's also how I spell it. Aluminium.
All right.
That's it.
You also came up here and said that you were all in on Trump's tariffs. So you can't back. So if you want to backtrack now, that's fine. But you did come up here and say you were fully in support of all of his tariffs when you came up
Okay.
here.
Hold on. One
Well,
level
Corey,
9.
I'm not.
Hold on. Time out. One level 9. You just got paid to be muted, actually. So the person who was in the chat, he was also up on our panel. One level 9. You just got muted. Somebody paid to do it. I just want to let you know that they disliked you that much. Thank you, Tammy. Tammy in the comments. All right, go ahead.
Tammy's my favorite certified hater. I love it.
Always comes in clutch.
Did somebody pay to mute me? Is that what happened?
No. You're good. No. You're good. It was somebody else.
Oh, okay. Darn. Hey, I would have been happy for you if somebody would pay to mute me. That's good for the panel. Good for you.
Yeah. Anyways, you can respond.
Right now, I'm looking at some of the tariff rulings to just to make sure that I completely understand that. But the one thing that is really important to me, and like I had said in the beginning, tariffs, in my opinion, should be used as a tool to either value or devalue your products. And other countries have been devaluing our products by using tariffs for a very, very long time. And I think that it's fair that we start operating in that way. And I think that it is, we're overdue to start looking at our own industries. We need to start.
Name a single country
We need to ramp up our manufacturing again, guys. It's very important.
Right, guy. Name a single country that has a blanket tariff on the United States. Name one country that does blanket tariffs on us.
Well, China's got tariffs on us.
Not on every single item. I say again. No, I'm not asking for individual tariffs because we have individual tariffs. Right, guy. We have individual tariffs on every single other country in the world already too. So, name a country that has a blanket tariff against all U.S. goods.
I don't believe that I could. Not right off the top of my. Not off the top of my head.
So it's not an unfair trade deal, right?
You keep spinning around that.
Engaging unfairly.
You fail to acknowledge that tariffs are a tool to value or devalue a country's goods.
My guy.
If you can't acknowledge that, Corey, then you're missing the whole point.
No, I disagree. I disagree with you.
Okay.
That's not
I can talk to you about that. Yeah.
That's
disagree.
not what they're for. So
yes.
No, it isn't. So tariffs are primarily a protectionist policy where if you have certain goods or services that your country produces and they are super important to your economy, you might put tariffs on those same things coming into your country because you want to protect that specific industry.
Exactly.
So, for example, your country might have a really strong steel industry, and so you put tariffs on steel coming in because you want to protect your own steel production. Your steel, American steel, is not being devalued by the UK having a tariff on US steel, because you can still sell your steel in other countries. In fact, you can still sell your steel in the UK. It's just that it's less likely to be bought because in the UK specifically, because it has a tariff on top of it. And that makes people within the UK want to buy UK steel because it will be cheaper for them. The aim of tariffs has never been to devalue anybody else's product. The aim of tariffs is to protect specific industries that are particularly important to your nation.
I think that you're exactly right. You said it perfectly. Like UK will put a tariff on our steel, making our steel more expensive for somebody in the UK to buy, so they don't buy it, so that they are encouraged to buy their steel. And that is done by devaluing United States steel, by raising the price to it, and keeping the price of UK steel down, thus increasing the value to it.
I'm not sure you understand what the word value means, if I'm honest.
You keep using that word, man. But like the problem here that you need to understand is that Erica and I are both like trying to get this through to you. it works in isolated areas. You can't do it on every single item in every single industry because no country can possibly even manufacture that much. It's just not a thing that can happen. He's gone or whatever.
Frank, are you there? You're off screen and on mute.
He got
Are you
a
getting a phone
phone
call?
call.
Phone call?
Yeah, I
All
could
right,
hear it ringing.
I'll give him like a few seconds, whatever. But
I
in the
think
meantime, everyone, keep tapping, sharing, follow Erica, follow Corey. Good.
the point is, Corey, I think, from my point of view, that no, he's gone now. The United States specifically is a consumer economy, and has been for a really long time.
Yeah.
And it's fine to want to build up those industries again, but the first thing you have to do is invest in those industries so you have the infrastructure to produce the amount that the US public needs. And if you don't invest in the infrastructure first, you're going to leave the US public buying incredibly expensive items that you have no choice but to import from other places.
Exactly. Well, Erica,
Hey,
you're exactly
hold
right.
on. Let me get to this guest real quick. I don't want to have him get bored and leave. Hold on.
We'll go back to Echo Chamber.
Yeah, we'll get back. We'll get back.
Leo.
Liam. All right.
Leo.
How old are you? How old are you?
47.
47. All right. And did you vote in this last election?
No, I'm in England, but
What prompted you to join? What prompted you? Because I'm only looking for people that, at the very least, support Trump.
No, I went to Florida for 10 years, and I left because everyone is so divided and stuff, and everyone hates Trump, like all over the world.
This is true.
And,
I am only looking for Trump supporters, though, so let me go ahead and bring you down, but I hope you have a great rest of your day. Yes, many people do hate him. That's correct. Guys, again, we're only looking for opposition, please, okay? Only opposition. All right.
But by the way, Erica, you are right, and I agree with you. And one big thing that Republicans don't seem to understand is A, we're never bringing manufacturing back to the U.S. in that regard. B, we have low unemployment, or we had lower unemployment even with the loss of manufacturing jobs. C, they don't support raising the wages of factory workers and manufacturing workers to make it actually economically viable to do this in the United States in the first place. And 3, it takes years to build up a manufacturing base. So, like, it takes 2.5 to 3 years at least just to do just to rebuild basic manufacturing, get people trained up, and get a factory actually like having adequate output. And it's just you can't like you're saying, you can't just start with the tariffs.
You know what's wild? Do you remember in Trump's first presidency, he said that he was going to bring back coal mining?
Mm-hmm. He saved like 15 jobs.
Yeah. Has he brought back coal mining? I'm not sure he has. Why didn't people learn from the first time?
Well, it's because his supporters are very, very silly geese who just keep hearing him say the talking points that he likes, and he also legitimizes their hatred.
This is true. This is very true. All right, where are the opposition people at? Where are you guys? It's hard to get you guys on up here. What's that?
I just love he was going to bring back clean coal comment. It's just very funny.
What are people supposed to do? Vote for Democrats, and leave our borders wide the fuck open? Well,
again, higher turnaround rate under Biden. Like,
God, it is so very, very frustrating, the propaganda that they buy into. Very easy to convince someone of propaganda. Very, very difficult to convince them out of it.
It shows the intelligence of his voter base, where they're just like, oh, we have this problem. You know what we should do? Build a wall. Walls fix everything. Yay, wall. It's like, hey, man, that's not at all how this works.
All right, one love. You got paid to be muted, so no, you can't come back up. No.
I want to point out, as somebody who comes from a country where a wall was built about 2,000 years ago to stop Scottish people coming into England, there are Scottish people in England. Just want to point that out. Walls do not work. The Romans.
Yeah, but now they all want to move to Boston, so it's fine.
I don't think they want to move there. I think it's a vacation spot.
Well, it is funny how they went to Boston, they seem to have had a good time, and then they went to Miami, and they're like, we hate it here.
Well, that's 1% the length of the border. Yeah. How many miles did he get built on it? 40 something, I think it was, of new wall. It was like nothing, right? Really, really helped out a lot.
I think it was like 58 or something like that.
Excuse me, I was off by 10.
Yeah, how dare you, Doug?
That 10 makes a difference. That 10 makes a big difference.
But when you only get 58 built, that's like a huge percentage. 10.
That's actually a really good point. You can actually argue for MAGA, Erica. That would be one of their best talking points ever. they built a huge percentage of the wall, or increased the percentage of the wall by 300%. Oh gosh. Just yet another thing that you guys will never hold him accountable for. That he said he was going to do a healthcare plan. He said he was also going to have an infrastructure plan. He didn't. It happened under Biden, though. What else did he? He's the amount of stuff that he said he was going to do versus stuff he's done is like, we're talking like a fraction of a fraction. Still waiting on that big, beautiful healthcare plan. We got a proof of concept. Yeah, that's right. We're still in the concept of a plan phase. We'll get past it eventually. Need a lower obesity before we can legislate healthcare? I think it's the other way around. I think the reason why many other countries have lower rates of it would be also a big part into they have better healthcare. So if you're going to wait on that to lower, you're going to be waiting forever, and that sounds like just a stupid excuse. Considering every other country that has universal healthcare pays less per citizen, and they have better healthcare outcomes. So I'm not sure why you would want to just wait on that. It's weird. You could. You absolutely can fix something in the middle of a problem. With this logic, there's always going to be a problem. You're always going to shift the goalpost. That's all it's going to ever be. You just don't want universal healthcare. That's it. That's it. I don't know why.
I would say the whole universal healthcare benefits people in multiple ways, but one of the ways is that your government will put things like health education into schools. So and things like how to prepare healthy meals and and more exercise and all of that kind of stuff. I can go to my doctor if I was very overweight. I could go to my doctor and get a prescription for the gym. Oh, sorry, that's my face thing making the noises.
Oh, we have a guest. Chief, hello. You said universal healthcare. You said universal healthcare is slavery.
So the only reason why I say that, and I really only said that to get your attention, really.
All right, well, you did.
I use United States government healthcare. My healthcare is free, and I can tell you it's some of the worst.
I assume you're a veteran
on the planet. Yeah.
I have VA healthcare, and I love my healthcare.
I have both VA and TRICARE because I'm retired. Both of them are trash, and I pay out of pocket for my own because both of them are trash.
Well, that's fine, but the
that's
issue
all
is,
I gotta say is that government healthcare, as a person who's experienced it, it's
I get what you're saying, but we have different, like we have anecdotes, right? Like I have very good experience with that. I've never had an issue. I've always paid next to nothing, never been a problem. You have the opposite. So, but this doesn't determine whether universal healthcare is good or not based on our own experiences, right? If the overall amount of people have good experiences with it, they pay less, they have better outcomes, then in general it would be good, despite my experience or your experience.
I understand that, and like the circles are different, but like in the circles that I run in and the people I know, it's overwhelmingly that most people don't support VA or TRICARE benefits because of how bad they've done for them, and the type of healthcare that they've provided for them has been so subpar, and we've had to wait so long that it's not worth it. Like I'd rather pay out of pocket.
What is it that you believe is so bad about it? Are you saying the wait times?
Not only wait times, but just the level of care in comparison to just the local, um, uh, what it's called, the local hospital we have here in town that's run by some privatized people. Like, it's the quality of care is so much higher there than it is if I go through the VA or if I go to a TRICARE facility. Like, it's just, not only are they kinder, they're nicer, they actually care about you, they end up looking through your charts, they know your medical past, they take the time to care about you as a patient. Whereas when I go to one of the government ones, I feel like a number, I'm in, I'm out. They don't consider what medications I'm on, they don't consider my previous crud. Like, I've been put on medication that in my chart I wasn't supposed to take because I was allergic, but because I didn't know the name of the medication by heart, I didn't tell the doctor that, and they should have flagged it.
Okay, and I'm not denying your experience, but those things absolutely happen in private healthcare as well.
Well,
Okay.
I'm sure they do, but just in my personal experience and the people that I end up running with, like, this is my truth, you know.
You
And
know
and
what
and, and,
happens
and I'm
in
not saying it's terrible across the board, but just people need to understand the people that are fighting for universal healthcare, they will get some terrible service in some pockets, and it's
you
not
know
worth it.
well, you know what happens in the country that I live in, which has universal healthcare, like everybody has it. Um, what happens is all of your medications and all of your healthcare is kept on a centralized database, which any doctor or hospital can access. And it will automatically bring up if there is a contradiction between two medicines that you are taking. Because it's all nationalized and it's done across the whole country. So that would never happen under universal healthcare. It's because you've got so many separate doctors having so many separate having so much separate information.
I do have to ask though, what country are you in?
Hang on, I'm just having something delivered.
I do want
Thank
to
you.
say
No,
I
leave those there. It's okay. I'll pick them up. Thank you.
Hey, guys, we can get to new guests at 30,000 likes. By the way, so I'm looking up wait times between the private sector and VA, and they're actually very comparable. There's not really that big of a difference. There used to be, but it's improved a lot over the years. The VA, especially in like the later 2010s, it looked like it improved quite a bit. But they're actually pretty much on par with the private
He
sector at
ran
this point.
away as soon as you looked up some actual information, Doug.
Not surprising. I looked at like three different things, by the way. I didn't want to read the first one I saw. I looked at like three different things, and they're pretty comparable at this point. Like I said, there used to be a difference, but they, well, who knows what's going to happen now with the cutting of VA funding? But at least up until that, they were pretty close. I don't understand why you would be. I love my healthcare, and again, I've had a good experience, so clearly I'm going to be biased here, but I pay very, very little for things. For a lot of things, I pay nothing. For like basic medications, stuff like that, it's like nothing. It's very, very little, and I've never had a big problem with wait times. Granted, I don't have any health issues though, so it's not like there's something I really need to be seen for right away or whatever. But I just overall, when we look at the VA, we don't tend to see any longer wait times, as I just said, and we don't see any other issues with them. But that's the case if we compare our healthcare to other countries' healthcare too. They all have better health outcomes than we do. I think the only one that has longer wait time, I believe, is Canada. But I think all the other places have shorter wait times.
Well, Doug, I was at the hospital again with my mum this week.
Mm-hmm.
And she was completely treated and out within an hour.
That's great.
In fact, less than that, about 45 minutes.
Is the fan really that loud? I just saw a comment. I cannot turn off the fan, guys. It's not the fan, it's the AC. I cannot turn it off. I'm sorry, I'm in Florida. I cannot turn it off. If people start universally agreeing that it's very loud, I will move where my desk is. But I can't do that now, but I'll have to do that before the next. It's like a AC thing that's on the wall. So it's not like yeah, so that's why it's sort of loud.
You know
what's
what's wild about this device that I have? It has a microcurrent thing, and it's delivering tiny little electric shocks to my face, which is an interesting sensation.
But yeah, guys, I guess let me know if it ever starts getting too much. I'll move around my room just for you guys. In the meantime, though, if y'all can keep tapping and sharing and sending the heart me there at the top, follow Corey and Erica. Show a little bit of support if you can. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like the live and subscribe, please. Please and thanks. Yeah, David, I saw your text, but I don't know where the volume comes in through on the iPad. So I can't really just put my finger over it just to test it. I initially thought the microphone was on my headphones, but it's on here apparently, so I don't really think I can block it. Okay. Sam, I see in a request box, but just looking for opposition, please. Just opposition. No, Wanda, I get that. This is for Trump supporters who believed he was going to lower them. So yeah, I obviously rational people who didn't vote for him all understand that. It's near the charging port. I don't really see like a specific, like I see where it could be, but I don't know. It's clearly the AC because when I turn it off, you guys always say it gets quiet. Look, I'll turn it off right now. It should get quiet here. Right, it's gone. No more wind, no wind tunnels. Yeah, but I can't keep it off because it's going to get hot in here in like 20 seconds. It's like 95 degrees outside, so. Okay, all right, that's too much. Get out of here. No, I don't want to melt. Thank you. Hey, Robert, I need to add you, by the way, to the mod chat on TikTok. Well, no, never mind. I can do it right now. I was about to say I need your handle, but I can find it right now. So yeah, by the way, if anybody is a mod of mine here on TikTok and you are not in the mod chat yet, just let me know. Shoot me a message. I try to add everybody I can think of. All right, let me add you now, Robert. And again, guys, if you can try to invite opposition up, that'd be helpful. All right, 1 second. All right, you are added. You're good to go. Denise, I don't think you're a mod. I'm like 99% sure you're not a mod. Oh, you sent it to me? Sorry, I didn't even say it. But whatever, he's added. It's good to go. They're scared. I don't know. How have lives been in general? Have they been a little bit quiet? The past couple lives I've done, I've had a decent amount of people, decent amount of guests, so it hasn't really been too much of an issue getting people up. Ugh.
The ones that I've been in have
You
been
guys are
quiet.
about to hate me. Hi, RC.
You guys are such crybabies.
Yeah, like when you cry about women wearing clothes in the gym, like those lives that you do. That's not you being a crybaby.
They're not wearing clothes in the gym.
Right. So you're not being a crybaby there.
Oh, I am.
Okay.
We both cry about the things we don't like.
Okay, fair.
The big wham crybaby.
Well, I mean, RC, to be fair, when we cry about stuff, it's because people are dying or starving to death. And when you cry about stuff, it's because women are exercising freedom of movement in a very culturally acceptable way.
Freedom of movement.
Yeah, and working out in comfortable clothing because you're too big of a baby to fucking deal with it. Right? Our thing gets people killed.
Right.
I understand it's not the topic, but I am curious. What is your issue with women wearing minimal clothing in the gym, as you say?
Perverted.
Okay, but why can't they? Well, even if that were true, why can't they just wear what they want? Why can't they just wear what they want?
Because there's plenty of times where we don't allow adults to wear whatever they want. A first grade teacher can't wear whatever she wants in front of her classroom.
So if they wear a bikini at the beach, is that perverted?
Yeah. Yeah, they're wearing their own underwear.
But RC, a first grade teacher is in front of first graders, not other adults at the gym.
You know who invented the bikini? He needed to hire a literal stripper. No other female wanted to model for the
RC, nobody
for the
cares.
bikini pictures.
Nobody cares, RC. RC,
Okay,
RC,
well, there's a
why is
lot of
it?
people that follow me. I
Why
think they
might
care.
it be? Why might it be completely appropriate to wear something different in front of adults and children?
Why?
Yeah.
Because it's perverted for a child's, developing brain to see stuff.
Why? Hang on. Is it though? Because in a ton of cultures, in fact, for most of human history, humans didn't cover themselves. It was only in the Victorian period, actually, really, that people started having this kind of weird, this idea that childhood was even a thing. Before that, people lived, in certainly working people were likely to live in a one-room house where their kids were there when they got dressed, where their kids were there when they had relations with their significant other. Like, I don't think you know
Are
a
you
lot
saying
about
that it's okay
stuff.
for children to see porn?
I'm
And
not,
like
no,
an
when did I,
adult naked?
when did, no,
Don't think
I
she said
didn't
that
say
wrong.
Okay, so
that.
we can all agree it's wrong and it's harmful to a child's brain, regardless of whatever they did 1,000 years ago.
How,
So
what?
let's not advocate for children to see adults having sex and then
She
naked
was
adults and
I
not.
stuff.
wasn't
She was not
advocating
advocating
for
for that
anything.
at all.
Okay, so then I don't know why you're bringing up societies that used to allow it, because we shouldn't be justifying that. So like, it
Christian
doesn't matter.
societies were pretty cool with it for the most part too, up until like this weird, creepy, sad movement from you guys.
Oh, the weird, creepy, sad movement that prohibits children from seeing adults having sex. Yeah, I don't think that's weird or creepy.
Kids
That's
used to live.
interesting that you
Dude,
think
Christian
that's weird
kids
and
used to
creepy.
live in the same fucking room as their
Wait,
parents.
so are you guys justifying this, or what's going on?
No, man, I'm just pointing out that like Christian culture is not exactly opposed to this concept that often, considering throughout all of Europe, when Christians shared the same room, that didn't stop the parents from doing things.
Wait, so Corey, you do think it's wrong for a child to see their parents or any adults having sex, right?
I personally don't think it's a good idea. I'm just pointing out that you
Okay,
can't
so
really
what are we
base this off
arguing
of
here?
you can't really base this off of any purity bullshit from your Christianity crap, because again, your religion,
Yeah, I can.
culture's
We
derived
have
from your
we have definitively
your
proved
religion.
how
Your religion
porn hurts the
evolved from
brain.
parents who were having sex in front of their kids, man.
Why are you bringing that up? Because you're against that, though. You understand that that's harmful for the child's brain.
He's pointing out.
You guys
to
are
you that
weird.
No, RC.
Like, this is really
no,
weird.
RC, shut up. He's pointing out to you.
It's been 2 minutes, and you guys are like
Let her.
pedophiles.
No,
Okay, RC.
Actually,
RC,
incredible.
RC, you really don't want to
you
make
argue
an
in bad
accusation
faith.
against people, but now you lose permission to talk until Erica's done talking, so I'm going to keep pressing that mute button. Go ahead, Erica.
All that we were doing, RC, was pointing out to you that for the majority of human history, that's the way it's been. We're not, I personally think that shouldn't occur. However, it has occurred for the majority of human history. And it's you guys who are constantly pointing to the past.
So
and
has
saying,
slavery, Erica.
Shut up.
That's not her point.
So has slavery.
Again, that's not her
This
point.
is so ridiculous.
She is making the claim that
RC,
the very
we're
Bible
not
that
the
you
ones
talk
who are
about
point-
has these
We're not
things.
the ones pointing to the past as a golden era. That would be your lot, okay? That would be your degenerate idiot self. So
That's what you're doing.
when Erica's pointing this out, all she's pointing is that, hey, it's funny how you guys have this whole view of the past and how like it was so much better in certain ways, especially from your religious perspective, when in reality, this thing that you find disgusting and that Erica and I also disagree with, and Doug does too, right? This thing that we don't think should be happening was incredibly prominent from your religious group in your past, in the past that you want to harken back to. That's the thing here. Now, I'll be blunt with you. I don't think children should be watching adults have relations, right? That would be pretty ridiculous if I agreed with that. I would also point out that wearing a bikini to the beach
It's
or
perverted.
wearing a sports bra in the gym, a gym being a place where adults typically are at, but also it's not perverted. It's people want
Yes,
to
it
get
is. It's a bra and underwear. Only a stripper wanted to model for the first bikini ever invented. So
Oh,
those to
weird.
show how desensitized
I'm
women
sorry.
have
So
become.
RC, they asked every single woman ever. And by the way, if women didn't want to wear it, then they wouldn't have bought it, and it wouldn't have been a marketing success. And most people wouldn't have bikinis nowadays.
Yes,
RC.
through a
It's almost
marketing
like
of
it's almost
desensitization.
like it's almost like once people
It's almost like you
stopped
won't
being
let
it's
me
almost
talk.
like once people stop being afraid of
Wow.
idiots like you because they realize the kind of people you really are, and
You won't let me talk.
What's
Yeah,
the
correct.
definition of perverted? What's the definition of
What?
perverted?
Sexual immorality or something like that. Why are you muting me?
Or something like that?
Constantly. Yeah, I don't have the Oxford Dictionary's definition of perverted in front of me, but it's some kind of sexual immorality.
Okay, so how is that sexually immoral, wearing certain types of clothing at the gym that you would disapprove of?
Because you're bringing sexual attention to your body in a public place, desensitizing and perverting public.
Hang on.
Are you sure it's just not you perceiving it that way? Maybe that's something you should work on.
Absolutely,
no, it's not
RC
just me
perceiving
perceiving it that way. Because a woman dressed like that at the gym, you wouldn't think it's appropriate for children to see her dressed like that, right?
Why wouldn't you think it was appropriate?
Do you think it would be appropriate for a child to dress like that?
RC, is it inappropriate if a child sees me?
Wait, he said that it's me perceiving it like this. I'm asking him a question.
RC, is this inappropriate for a child to see?
So can we stop deflecting? I asked a very specific question.
Yeah. So, but the problem with this is it's very, very subjective. So if I view you as being perverted, what you wear, what's stopping me from saying that you can't wear what you wear?
If me wearing a t-shirt and shorts.
What if I get attracted by that? What if that makes me attracted to you?
Okay, then that's your opinion. Sure.
Right.
Do you think it's appropriate for a child to wear a bikini?
I don't think you should show.
Do you think that's appropriate?
I don't think you should show your arms or legs.
Why don't you want to answer that question? If you're saying if you're saying a bikini is not sexual attire, you won't let me. You won't let me ask this question.
I don't care. Look. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't care if a kid wears a two-piece. I just don't. A two-piece swimsuit. Why the fuck?
Okay. Well, I was asking that. Then you're.
Yeah, I don't. I don't.
We've already established. I think Corey's a pedophile. I'm pretty sure he might be.
Okay.
But I'm not. Okay. We're not
There's
talking
no
to
evidence
Corey.
of that, but okay.
Yeah, well, he thinks it's okay for a child to wear a two-piece bikini. Pedophile, I think.
No, I just don't.
My opinion.
See, the thing here, as much as I love the slander, the whole thing here is that I don't think it's sexual.
My opinion.
Inherently, for somebody to wear a two-piece.
Hang on.
And oftentimes it's more comfortable.
Doug, you think it's okay for a little 7-year-old child to wear a two-piece bikini?
All of these things are contextually
yes or
dependent.
No?
Well, but these things require
yes or
nuance,
no, bro.
though. RC, these things require nuance, though. Like, for example,
they're at the beach, in public.
Babies run around without a diaper, right? That wouldn't be okay, like, if they did that in the middle of the street or something like that. I know, but these things depend on where they are, the time. There's so many things that play into it.
They're at a beach in public, and it's an 8-year-old girl. Is that okay for her to wear a two-piece bikini?
I think that would be up to the parents. I don't personally. I'm not going to dictate.
Why won't you answer this? You're squirming away from answering this.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
No. Okay,
what's an RC? What's an 8-year-old?
You want to answer the direct question?
RC, what's an 8-year-old? RC, what's an 8-year-old boy allowed to wear at the beach?
He's allowed to wear a bathing suit.
Which consists of
is not a Speedo, because that would be disgusting for a little 8-year-old boy to wear a Speedo, right?
Okay,
just underwear in public, right?
So
we wouldn't think that's appropriate.
Hang on, RC.
So why is it appropriate for a girl?
RC, if an 8-year-old girl who doesn't, by the way, have breasts, because 8-year-old girls don't have breasts, was covering their nipples, which is more than the 8-year-old boy is doing, and is wearing a pair of shorts rather than bikini bottoms, is that okay?
If she's wearing shorts and a t-shirt, yeah, that's fine.
No, not a t-shirt, a bikini top.
No, that's not fine.
But the boy's allowed to wear just shorts.
Because she has different biology.
No, she doesn't. Not at 8, she doesn't.
Not at that age.
Not at 8, she doesn't. She doesn't have breasts.
Yes, she does.
They both have nipples.
No. Wait, she doesn't, RC. Do you not understand human development?
Not appropriate.
Why?
Because she's a female. It's not appropriate.
Nothing's developed.
It doesn't matter. It's not appropriate.
Wait, so it doesn't matter.
You really want to see a little girl's chest? What the fuck is
really
RC?
You people are disgusting.
RC, I really don't, which is why I advocate.
Disgusting, dude.
RC, the whole thing is that I actually don't.
You're mad at me for wanting to put a shirt.
Unlike you, RC, I'm not focused. Unlike you, RC,
disgusting, bro.
Unlike you, RC, I don't look at children generally. So like, I don't have to fucking give a shit. That's also why Erica, Doug, and I have all said, yeah, we don't really give a fuck if a kid wears a two-piece. But again, you'll point out a two-piece covers up the chest area. You know, that thing that you have an issue with?
And you're muting me. This is why.
You're incapable of having a good faith conversation, RC.
No, it's not. It's not.
It is, because every time something is said, you just say you're a P3DO. That's all you're saying.
Over me.
That's all you're saying. You just keep saying people are P3DOs who disagreed with you.
Ironically,
my whole point is that certain attire is
You know what's the ironic thing here? The ironic thing is throughout
Your
all
bad
of this,
faith. You're muting me.
it's
Let's
RC
let Jeff
who's
go.
sexualizing. It's RC who's
Oh yeah, no,
sexualizing
because 3
children
people
throughout this
talking
whole
over me
thing.
wasn't enough. Let's bring a 4th
All right,
one.
let's let Jeff talk to you solely then. He wants to talk to you.
No, because I
All right.
haven't had a chance to respond at all. So let's just let now 4 people dogpile.
All right, I'll stop
People are
talking. Corey,
disgusting.
Corey and Eric can stop talking. It can be you and Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
Hi. Go ahead. Get out what you wanted to say, RC.
I'm saying that certain attire is sexual. We should not allow certain attire in certain places in society.
Okay. What's the argument for that? P1. Let's go.
I just said it's sexual.
That's not.
I just gave my. Were you listening?
I was. Hold on. The conclusion of the argument is that the attire is sexual. What's premise 1 of the argument?
I'm not doing that. You're not going to tell me how to make my.
I don't.
argument.
Okay. Here's the thing.
It's sexual.
RC. I disagree that attire is inherently sexual. So now, here's your opportunity to give us the argument that it is.
No.
Unless you can just assert stuff without
I'm
any
not doing your
evidence.
Philbro thing. No.
This isn't a Philbro thing. I don't even need.
I told you because
Look,
it's sexual.
Hold on, RC.
Because it shows like your
RC,
genitalia.
now it looks like you're talking over. You didn't want a dog pile. I'm saying a thing and you're interrupting me. I want to let you get your whole entire thing out.
I did.
Wait, stop talking while I'm talking, bro. Like, do you want a good faith discussion or not?
No.
You
I'm
don't
done
want a
with
good
this.
faith discussion. Okay,
No,
cool.
I'm done with this.
Okay, cool. So run away. Why are you here? Everybody knows you're an embarrassment. You're a novelty item, a chew toy. Act like a chew toy. Run away. Get out of the toy box.
Okay. Are you going to insult me?
I have insulted you.
You're lowering yourself
tracking?
to that point?
No, I haven't lowered myself to that point. My insults are funny. So look, what my point is, you are either here to have a
Our
discussion.
insults are so funny that it gets people on your side and not want to live with
I don't
you.
know.
That's
I
how
don't
good
know why
our
it is that you're
insults
still
are.
talking. But look, you either want a good faith discussion or you're useless to me. Are you useless?
Dude, I don't even know who you are. I don't
Are
care
you?
what you are, bro.
This has nothing to do with who I am. I'm asking you if you are useless. You're only useful if you're here for a good faith discussion.
Yeah, to a leftist, I am useless. Fuck you.
Okay, so
I don't
then
care. I don't have no
but
use
yet
for
you
the
still,
left.
But yet you still beg
People are
Doug
disgusting.
for space on his panel, like
I
a
begged
peasant.
him. Yeah, I begged him. You're right.
Yeah, you did. When you hit request and you wait.
Did you beg him too when you hit request?
No, because
Like a
I'm
good
friends
little
with
boy.
Doug.
Oh, but
No,
you're a
I'm
good
friends
boy
with
for the
Doug.
white man, aren't you? You beg him when you
Hey,
hit request?
Doug, are we friends?
That's crazy.
Yes,
You
So
begged the
see,
white
I don't
man. You
look.
begged the white man.
Here,
I
I'm going to
thought
give
were
you what
above
you
that.
want. I'll give you what you.
I
I'll
thought
give you
were
what you
above
want,
that,
RC.
Jeff.
I begged Doug, and so did you. But
Yeah,
you're a
you
peasant,
begged him
and
like
I'm
a
not.
good boy, Jeff.
Yeah, you're a peasant, and I'm not. So now, are you here for a good faith
Oops,
discussion?
TikTok's mad.
Yeah, RC got a violation. Goodbye, RC.
Oh, he
I'm surprised.
ran.
Well, he did get a violation, to be fair, but I'm surprised he didn't get one sooner.
I mean, to be fair, he knew he would get a violation, right?
Well, of
it's
course,
just
yeah.
death by mob.
Yeah.
It's because it's all RC can do. God, so I was hoping to post the review of RC's book, but I think they got rid of green screen for cameras. Maybe.
All right. How you doing, Jeff? You been all right?
I'm doing great.
Sure, man.
Actually, I gotta text you about exactly how great I'm doing. I wanted to
Yeah,
to
all right.
catch you up.
Yeah.
So we got to have
Okay.
a combo. But I'm gonna go back to the
John.
hey Tokyo
Hey,
Drift. I don't know if your job is jacked up or something, but like for real. No, y'all made him crash out before I even got up here because he just switched from engaging in the conversation to y'all are disgusting. Well, we think you're disgusting, so you think I'm
Yeah, it wasn't
disgusting. I
really a
think
good
you're
argument.
disgusting.
Yeah. He does lives. He does lives on that topic, saying, like his whole topic is women shouldn't wear whatever in the gym. That's all. It's just complaining the entire time.
Again,
For wearing
it's wild.
too little clothing. Yeah.
I don't see kids in the gym ever, which is
No, there's actually rules about most gyms, unless it's like a private gym, that you have to be like above the age of like 15 to be in there or something like that at least. So, hey John, how you doing? You there?
Doing all right. How about yourself, brother?
Good. I just need to know your age, sir. How old are you?
I'm a 31-year-old man. I work in the blue collar industry, and I do concrete for a living.
Cool. You voted for Trump?
Absolutely not. I actually did not vote because Kamala Harris and Trump, I don't really support them either at all. Kamala, however you want to say her name.
What did you not like about Harris?
Well, I mean, she didn't really have a good she didn't really have a good structure going on with her campaign. I mean, she spent millions and millions of dollars. She didn't really have anything really going on to fix America's problem. I mean, yeah, she had a couple of good notes. I mean, how she wanted, more things for families, like, any kind of like governmental help. She kind of spoke on that in a way, which, I mean, I understand people need help in this life, but
what policies did she not have that you felt she had to have? And if you guys want to talk to him for a minute, I got to grab the mail real quick. Someone wants to.
I'm gonna drop, but I'll be around. Keep going.
I find
go ahead.
So I find this interesting. You're saying she didn't have any. So what should she have had as a policy that she didn't?
Sir?
What policy should she have held? What policy should she have had that she just did? That you think she was lacking?
Really, I think she really lacked control of our system because I think it was mainly just for like. I think her campaign was mainly funded towards like the money aspect. Like she was really wanting to get a whole lot of money in her pocket, and she wanted to also.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Did you see her wanting money into her pocket?
Oh, dude, every politician always wants the money, dude.
The current president of the United States has made majority of his net worth in the terms of billions. Kamala Harris did no such thing. So
she's billions of dollars in jet fuel.
Show me her policy platform that would personally enrich Kamala Harris.
Well,
no, she doesn't have one. You can't find what doesn't exist.
Give me 1 second. Sorry, I can't really go back and look exactly right now because, for one, I don't really remember because that was a year ago, and for two, I'm currently at work and you're sitting in an office chair.
Cool. So let's see here. Kamala Harris didn't have any policy positions that would have personally enriched herself. When she was the vice president of the United States, she personally enriched herself in such a way. Meanwhile, Donald Trump personally enriched himself during his first presidency to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars. And then also is doing it again in his presidency. And you have the fucking gall to say that Kamala Harris is trying to do this personally enrich herself.
Every president is trying to do the same thing. I mean, all it is
Not
is a money scandal. It is
not true, my guy. Actually, I'm not like some simp for presidents, but most presidents are actually their fucking position. Donald Trump is just immediately corrupt.
Look, all I'll say is you cannot trust a politician in either way, any factor, Republican or Democrat.
What did Kamala Harris do? No, hold on. So
He's got a lot of background noise. That's a lot of background noise.
So, John, what specifically did Kamala Harris do that was corrupt that you didn't like? Name one thing she did that was corrupt. Or is this
John,
just,
are you there?
I don't vote ever? He left. Or he went
Come on,
off.
John.
Yeah.
John, you got to come back on that. Come on. All right, well, let's get to the next one. We're all... God damn it, of course he shows back up. Man, no, I don't know. All right, guys, we're only looking for opposition. If you agree with Corey and Eric and myself, and you didn't vote for Trump, please don't come on up. We're only looking for debates. Make sure you all send in a heart me too at the top left. Please, and thanks. SR, you're loading. Next one. Josh, hello. Hilarious. Very, very funny.
Like my theme tune.
What's that?
That's a song called Erica.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's something like 18 to 25-year-old boys do because they think it's funny to like support Nazis. SR, are you loading? Yes, no. All right, next one. What's with you guys? Not loading. There we go. Champ, how you doing?
Oh, doing good.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 46.
46. Did you vote for Trump?
No, I didn't vote for him.
Okay. I'm only looking for debates. What reason did you request to come up?
Oh, no, I mean, I just seen a prompt. It said, why hasn't Trump made the gas and groceries cheaper yet? And I think it's because I think he's in bed with the the oil industries, man, and he's running this stuff to the ground, man.
I think he's running a lot of stuff to the ground. I am only like for debates, though, so let me go ahead and bring it down because I'm just looking again for debates. But I appreciate it, guys. Again, only looking for opposition. All right. Where did Erica go?
I don't know. Maybe her phone died.
I don't know. She didn't message me. Well, I guess I don't know. We'll see. All right, next one. No. All right, we don't have anybody. I think Jack is in the request box, but I'm trying to. I've actually never spoken to him before. I know he's always on your lives. Right? Isn't he always on your list, Corey? You're on
yeah. Jack Dog. Yeah, he's a friend of mine. He's my co-host. It's just also I don't know why. There's this guy who's always in my lives and apparently comes to yours quite a bit too. So Terminal Gant, guys, by the way, Terminal Gant's just a troll. Like, I don't know how else to tell you guys this. He's just a disingenuous troll. He's here to be a contrarian and to disagree with you if you hold any view that's not right wing. You guys don't need to concern yourselves with talking to him because there's no point in arguing with somebody who who can't acknowledge when they're wrong. Or just keep doing it, because it's good engagement too, though. So keep arguing. I'm just saying, like, for your own mental health, it's like talking to a brick wall.
I mean, that's how most of them are, though, really, to be fair.
True. It's why Terminal Gant never requests up into lives.
Words. How you doing?
Hi. I just wanted to ask you if you would pull up the house website and read out the.
Hold on. One sec. I'm only looking for opposition, by the way. People that are looking to debate. Is there anything that you disagree with?
Yeah. I just wanted you to actually read out what he does, and then you can see for yourself.
Okay. I just need to know your age too. I just need to know. I just need to know your age first. I'll do before we move forward. I have to ask it to everyone.
Well, I'm certainly over 18, and I'm
I know. I got
to be his grandma.
I gotta ask it. All right. What do you want me to pull up?
I want you to pull up the White House website and ask people to subscribe to it, and so they get all the updates and everything that's happened.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Why would we do that?
25 things that he's done just now.
Name one.
Well,
name one in your own words.
Name
one in your own words.
No, let me get them because I'm dyslexic.
No, in your own words.
I'm dyslexic.
He's done loads. He's done a massive thing to do with your economy.
Like what?
He has done some. I think it is the oil. Hang on. He's done something massive just now, but I think it's just better to pull it up because it's just. Oh my God.
Your own words. Your own words.
You're the one who came up here and said he's done a bunch of stuff. You should be able to do it without pulling up a script, right?
I'm actually going to it, and then you can actually debate it.
Okay, but words. But I don't think we should use the White House website as a source because I wouldn't do that when Biden was president because it's inherently a biased source. They're going to phrase things and put things in a way that makes them look good. I wouldn't do that with Biden. I just want you to tell me.
You could debate it on your show. You could say, look, he's just said he's done this, and then you can say, oh no, he hasn't.
All right, give me something big. Give me something big that he has done. Give me something significant.
Tell us one.
Speak to someone else and let me get it up because the cat's in the way and everything. Can you just speak to someone else and I'll come back in a minute? Okay.
So big that you can't. Okay. I'll put you on mute. I'll just go on mute for now. Jesus Christ.
Why did Erica leave at that point? That
would have been perfect. That would have been perfect. Oh well.
Like I go to the White House website to tell you all the good things that Trump did. Oh, cool. Does the White House website hold an unbiased viewpoint of the president? Oh, no, it doesn't. Got it.
I don't know why you would use that as your source. I mean, I guess if you have no other talking points, then I guess that's why you would. But I mean, that's it. That's all she's got. All right. Well, I'll wait for you. We are looking for other people in the meantime, I guess. So if anybody else voted for Trump and wants to defend him, come on up.
I'm just looking at the White House website right now, and it's just the saddest website of just like all this propaganda of the Trump administration. Oh, we've even got it where he was giving a speech to the Army Rangers, and he selectively picked out only soldiers in the military who were ardently loyal to him. You know, because he politicized the fucking military. You know, another great thing he did. Just in case anybody ever wants to look at the White House website, it's the strengthen national security part. It's where a bunch of Red Beret soldiers are clapping for him.
What's up, Chris? How you doing? All right. Again, if you're all enjoying live, hit the follow button on the top left. Make sure you all send in to heart me and follow and support Corey a little bit too if you can. My links are in bio. It's not needed. I do appreciate it. Cookie, you are welcome to come up if you want to defend Trump as being the best president ever. Sure, try and do so, please.
Inflation was higher under Biden. It also decreased under Biden significantly. Because, you know, that's how numbers work.
Okay, but I think we have to ask ourselves why. Why was it high under Biden? Right? Because you're insinuating, of course, he did something, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't have mentioned it. So I would just like for you to tell us what he did to increase inflation, not only in the U.S., but that happened to increase it everywhere in the entire world at the same time. I would love to know what that thing was.
But Doug, the dollar. And if the dollar inflates in the United States, then it must inflate everywhere else, Doug. The dollar. Petrodollar, Doug. Fiat currency. Let's go back to the gold standard.
You just pretty much got all their talking points in one. Like, that's it. That's their entire economic talking point right there.
Reciprocal tariffs. I had to say that one too. There we go. Now that's his entire economic platform.
And I don't know if you guys know this or not. I can look up the states in where you live for gas. So if you're going to tell me gas is X amount in your state, I can look it up. Gas is $3.20 currently in Texas. I don't know it's not $2.89. Possibly where you are, but statewide it is $3.20. I have the data right here in front of me. It took me 3 seconds to look that up. Hi, user. How you doing?
How are you, my Goyim?
How old are you?
Goyim?
How old are you?
23.
Cool.
I'm 23.
And what would you like to debate on?
Okay, so my question is just basically, why don't we send another $6 billion to Israel?
I'm not for that.
That's the main question for today.
You're preaching to the choir here, man. I'm not for that.
We gotta do it. We are Goyim, so we gotta help the superior race to the Jews because they are masters. Didn't you get it?
How on a scale from 1 to 10, how good do you think your trolling is? 1 being awful,
It's not trolling.
10 being like the
The
best
Jews
trolling ever.
own us. The Jews own everything that we.
Well,
see,
you actually are
we
right
hear.
about one. You are right about one thing. I am Jewish and I own you, and I'm about to kick you. Goodbye. You were right about one thing. All right, let's get to a real opposition guest, please. I knew right away it was going to be like that. That they love to use that word goyim. As soon as he said that, I knew it was going to go in that direction.
Yeah, it's just wild.
Now, Vance says the 2020 election was rigged by tech companies. Oh, was that when he was on Bill Maher? Yeah. Well, I don't like Bill Maher at all, especially the last couple of years. I did like him. Yeah, he's gotten really bad, but I did like him saying that to JD Vance. That was nice. Like saying, like, we got to stop this thing where if we win, it's okay. If you guys lose, if we lose, then you cheated, type of thing. Which is true. Like, that's all it ever has been for the past 10 years. Republicans win, it's a fair election. If not, then it's someone cheated. I used to like Bill Maher too, a long time ago. I'd say, 10 years ago, 10 plus at least. But he's just gotten very get off my lawn type of guy, Just a very old dude that loves to complain about shit. He wouldn't ask JD why JD thinks that Donicon won it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the entire thing. I only saw that one clip of it, but I'm sure there was probably better questions he could have asked.
Look, it's Bill Maher, so he's going to ask softball questions to Republicans to coddle to them. It's just what he does. It's why nobody likes him, because he claims to be this like moderate liberal, and he's like, no, man, you're just kind of a coward who will only criticize the left and then refuse to stand up to the right.
He's not even like. I don't really know. Like he's like kind of just conservative, really, at this point. It seems
I see
like
him.
I don't really see anything of his in which he talks about anything progressive. I mean,
Well, he's fervently anti-progressive, right? He hates Mamdani.
yeah.
He does this. He uses himself as a liberal to kind of be like, "Oh, I'm trying to bring the Democratic Party back to reason." It's like, dude, the fuck are you talking about?
I don't even think he's really for higher taxes on the rich, which because he's rich. I don't think he is. You know, that would be like a pretty important thing to be at least somewhat on the left to be for that. He seems to hate trans people. He talks about them every other fucking sentence. He caught that same virus where like they just can't stop talking about trans people. That same virus that Republicans have. That's like all they think about, all they whatever. Been liberal for decades, just not hyper progressive. No, I mean no, he's never been a far left guy by any means. He's always been just a kind of mainstream liberal, I would say. Does he claim to be that? I don't know. I could be mistaken, but I think he may have said recently that he would consider voting Republican. I think. Don't quote me on that.
The issue is that the left has become a radical platform, and you badmouth those not getting along. Oh boy, sweetheart, let me tell you about a guy named old Donnie T.
So,
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Sorry.
Bill Maher did say he's open to voting Republican in 2028. Very, very interesting. Who could he possibly vote for that would? I mean, the only people that are really going to be running realistically would be, I mean, assuming it's a normal election, and this is a big assumption, it would be Vance or Marco Rubio. Those are like the likely ones.
So I see Ted Cruz, Rubio, DeSantis.
Oh, Cruz. Yeah, Cruz. Well, I don't know.
all three.
People don't really like DeSantis anymore. He kind of ruined his image when he ran the other a few years ago.
Yeah, but like Republicans kind of like to forget, right? Like that's
true.
why we see
That's
it with
true.
like Republican commentators like Tucker Carlson or like Ben Shapiro, who both were incredibly critical of Trump, and then the second he was winning, completely changed their image. So like if these guys like they kind of forget about all this stuff and their criticism of the previous guy.
Yeah, that's true.
And maybe I don't know. I think it's going to be a big pool of Republicans, and I think they're all going to be terrible. I actually don't think J.D. Vance is going to run for president.
You don't think so? Why not?
You know, I think he realizes nobody likes him because polling has heavily suggested that literally any Democrat could beat J.D. Vance in a campaign.
Is this polling really that bad?
His polling is really that bad. He is horribly unpopular because he sucks.
Yeah, he's just not a very likable guy, like at all. He doesn't really have any redeeming qualities. You guys all saw an interview with his wife and how awkward that was?
Yep. Also, there's a random person who just came up here. Hi, Randy. Are you 18 or older?
Yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah, I am. I only came up because your mod invited me up, but
well, you didn't have to accept
it. Do you disagree with the background?
Of course not. The only thing I disagree with is how Doug eats. I just came up so he would stop inviting me.
Eat?
Okay, goodbye.
Then don't accept the invite.
Yeah, if you don't disagree, you don't have to accept it. By the way, we all come here because we know Doug's going to eat while on live. It's something we do. It's ASMR for us. So don't criticize the people.
Sometimes I overdo it. Sometimes I overdo it, probably. All right. I'll be back there in 2 seconds. Making a mess over here.
Tammy, I'm not judging anybody. You guys like I trust Doug's mods because I'm one of Doug's mods and I trust myself. You don't have to sneeze on me every time I tell you to go for a walk, okay? Sneezing on me is kind of inappropriate. Fork and yogurt ASMR.
I do that out of laziness. That's out of laziness because I often use plastic forks and spoons, and when I run out, I just kind of sometimes just use the fork instead of buying a spoon. The end result's still the same. I still get the yogurt in my mouth. Just slightly more inconvenient. That's it. That's all it is. That's all it is. But it serves the same function. All right, I'm back. Chewing ice cream. We're not having that conversation again. We are not. Ooh, Mike, how you doing?
Good.
How old are you?
45.
Okay, cool. And did you vote for Trump?
I did.
All righty. And economically, how do you think he's doing so far?
Well, I mean, I think we're going through a transitional period economically. So, I mean, as of right now, you know, I understand the numbers aren't the best, but what he's doing to make it better in the future is what matters.
What's he doing that you think is going to improve us?
Well, I mean, the whole Iran thing, I think, is improving us as we speak.
In which way?
Well, like, I'm sure that's why I was brought up here because of the comment. I said the gas is cheaper in the United States than anywhere else in the world right now, mostly due to the closing of the Strait of Hormuz. China gets 40% or 50, closer to 50%, I think, of their oil from the Strait of Hormuz. So
you're saying we have the cheapest gas out of anywhere in the world?
Well, I mean, most places, yes. I know that places, like I've seen videos of people that can't even get gas right now. In Europe, I believe they're paying upwards of $15 a gallon, probably because of the carbon taxes that have been put in place.
Europe can be a little more expensive, but hold on. But people got to compare it to like where they are, right? People aren't comparing it to elsewhere because we don't live elsewhere. People are going to compare it to what it was previously. And Trump did say on day one he was going to lower them, and it's not higher or it's not lower right now than when he came into office.
Well, he's working on it. He can't just snap his fingers and say gas prices are lower. Like it's controlled by the market. So
then why did he say that? Why did he say he would do it on day one?
Well, he's working on it day one. From what I see, like we're gonna hit a point, dude, where gas is gonna be exponentially just cheap. Like we're gonna hit this point probably very soon. And yeah, I mean,
exponentially cheap. How would that happen? What's he doing specifically to make it exponentially cheap?
Well, we took over Venezuela, which is one of the largest oil reserves in the world. So we're doing that. We get that oil. And plus we've cut off most of the world's energy because of this Strait Hormuz. We're setting back the rest of the world. I don't know exactly how many years. I would just conservatively 4 to 5 years.
4 to 5 years it's going to happen?
Yeah, I believe the world, the rest of the world, other big countries are being set back because of this 4 to 5 years.
So when is gas going to get cheaper here then?
Probably when the things are resolved in Iran, which I don't think Trump wants them to be resolved right now, because, like I said, he's weakening the rest of the world, but strengthening the United States at the same time.
Hold on. How does hurting everybody else help us?
Well, they had to hurt us to help everybody else. So, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. Our country, or no, the world.
Who had to hurt us to help themselves?
Well, we had to hurt ourselves to help China, to help India.
How?
Well, we started like selling our stuff to China, like.
Wait,
like
so we started making. So we started selling. So we sold stuff to China, and we made money off of it, and that hurt us because we made money.
Who do you think's making more money? Or do you think we made more money, or do you think that the investments that China made in America are continuing to make them money?
Well, again, if we destroy our own economy, which we're doing, then it hurts everybody, including ourselves.
I don't see us as destroying our economy by any means. We're still paying less gas prices than we were under the Biden administration.
No, actually, we're paying more at the end. We're paying more today than we were under the Biden administration.
Yeah, no. When Biden left office, it was $3.19. It is like $3.90 right now nationwide.
What I'm saying is the highest point of Biden, which was a 4-year mess until he started tapping into the oil reserves that Donald Trump set for him. You know what I mean?
Hold on though. But you're comparing it to a peak in which we can talk about how that happened.
Yeah,
but
that was because of Donald Trump.
It went down. It went down significantly.
Lowered. Yes, because of Trump, because of the oil reserves that Trump made sure he filled up before he left office the first term.
That's most definitely not true. Actually, oil prices
oil prices went up under Trump because of his OPEC deal, and then they went up again because of the Russian war, which was started partially because Trump lost the election.
All I'm saying is that we got the largest increase of inflation under Biden, right? So
okay, but hold on. But we have to, because this happens all the time. What caused that?
What caused the inflation? Probably him shutting down oil lines, oil pipelines all over the place. I believe
oil pipelines.
Yeah, like and then he
which oil
shut
pipelines?
off
which oil
many
pipelines?
many of
the
them. I
highest
believe it was like upwards of 200. I believe oil pipelines during that time.
And how? Okay, so he cut off these pipelines, and this raised inflation. How?
It just made everything more expensive. There is no influx of oil, so you're going to have to pay more for it, right?
Well, but we were producing more oil at that time.
That we were seeing everywhere. I did that, Biden pointing at the gas pump sign.
Well, that doesn't mean it was the case. Yeah, I saw stickers. That doesn't mean it was the case. First of all, we produced at that time more oil than any time in history. So I don't know what you're talking about. And two, we can go back to why gas went up. We can talk about the OPEC plus 2020 deal if you want in relation to the production of oil or how much oil that we had and versus the demand. We can talk about that.
Trump,
but it's not all. No, Mike. We have to talk about the whys and the hows. It's not as simple as just saying this person was president, this event occurred, therefore this person caused that event. It's not that simple, and you know it's not. Because then we can just. It's no okay.
Shutting
So great.
down pipelines all over the place and making it harder and more expensive, for oil. Plus cutting jobs on. The Keystone Pipeline, he shut down that.
No, he
whole
didn't.
deal.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No,
Yes,
he didn't.
he did.
You are very misinformed on that. You are very misinformed on that. You are very misinformed on it. When was the decision to shut down the Keystone Pipeline? When did that happen?
I don't know.
The Keystone XL. The Keystone
I just remember
XL
when
pipeline.
everybody was mad about it.
Okay, well, sure, but they were mad about
it was
misinformation.
soon after Biden's election.
So for one, the Keystone Pipeline is there, still operational. It has been for like 10 plus years. Okay, you're talking about the Keystone XL pipeline, and that was shut down by the Supreme Court in 2020 in July when Trump was still president. That was a Supreme Court decision. Biden just followed through with it. That was it.
It also was never completed, and also the Keystone XL
because
pipeline,
it was never completed because Biden shut it down.
Beyond that, do you know what the Keystone XL pipeline was primarily going to transport? Oh, I'm sorry, Doug.
I didn't mean to cut you off. It was only 7% completed when that permit was taken away, and it wasn't projected to be finished until about 2024. We all know sometimes projects take a lot longer. So you guys were blaming gas prices in 2022 on that when it wasn't going to even be completed by that point. It makes no sense.
I honestly,
now you
at
can
this
go,
point,
Corey.
I think we're arguing semantics. I'm more concerned about what's happening right now.
We're not arguing semantics. You told me that you said Biden raised gas prices, that he was responsible for it.
No, inflation was the highest ever in recorded history, I believe, under this country.
Well, it's not recorded history. But again, I'm going to have to ask you, what did he do to make that happen? These questions are important.
I think you have your opinions of why you think that happened, and that's fine.
That's why we're talking about this. That's why we're talking about this. So what was the reasoning?
Well, I mean, I think that you're segueing into something so that you don't have to talk about the current events of what Donald Trump is doing right now.
No, you told me we're talking about inflation, gas, and things like that, right? You said that things are better now than it was under Biden. You're insinuating Biden did something to make things bad. You're insinuating Biden did something to make something bad, and I'm telling you, and I'm asking you, what did he do to make things bad?
We don't even need to talk about that. All we need to know is if gas is lower now.
No, Mike, we do, because then you're giving credit to somebody.
Who filled up our oil reserves?
Mike, holy fucking shit. Then you're giving credit to somebody that doesn't deserve any credit, or you're blaming somebody that didn't do something.
Who filled up our oil
in the first place,
reserves, bro? And when did Joe Biden tap into them? We can all. This is all documented. We can see this.
Mike, you've already shown you're misinformed because you knew nothing about the Keystone XL pipeline.
That's how you're saying, well, gas was cheap at this point. Yeah, because we had to go into our oil reserves.
Mike,
Donald Trump.
Shush for a second. Okay. We have to talk about these things. These things are important to talk about. We can't just gloss over the highs and the hows and whys and stuff like that, okay? And if you don't know some of these things, just say you don't know some of these things, all right? But you've already shown that you don't know some things, so it's kind of hard to trust you on other things.
I think that you're looking at things through a very biased lens.
Mike, me telling you that the Supreme Court shut it down in 2020, you can look that up in 10 seconds.
Okay, all
This
right,
shows your
that's fine.
this shows your
But
lack
it
of
still
media
does
literacy,
not
though.
bypass the fact. You're talking about one pipeline. There was hundreds of pipelines shut down during this
But
time.
if we
all
are
under the Biden administration,
if we
he
were
halted
producing
it.
more oil than ever, then how would that have made things worse?
Well, I guess that's
And that
a
I also
debatable
could show
topic.
you. That's not debatable. Facts are not debatable, Mike.
Okay,
We were
but
producing the most oil at that point than ever in history, and that also takes about 10 seconds to look up.
then why was gas so high? Probably
Great.
because he shut down all of the
I'm
pipelines to get the oil to
I'm
where it needed to
glad
be.
I'm
No.
glad you asked, Mike. I'm glad Eric and I have had this conversation like 50 plus times at this
So are we
point.
just
I
going to
think.
gloss over
Yeah,
the
let's talk
fact that
About
Joe Biden
Eric,
shut down
Eric,
multiple pipelines as soon as he entered office?
Mike,
Are we just going to
Mike,
completely gloss over that?
Hi, Mike. You just asked a question.
No, to make your points, you have to gloss over other ones.
You just asked a question, Mike. You first of all, Mike, opening an oil pipeline, does it automatically make the price of oil go down?
Well, I mean, yes, it does, because that means you have to transport it by vehicle or by ship or by other means. That
Mike,
raises the cost, raises the
Mike,
time to get it there.
Mike, have you heard of the Keystone Pipeline, the original one?
Yeah.
Okay, it was opened under which president?
I don't remember.
It's Obama.
Right.
And what happened to oil prices after the Keystone Pipeline opened?
I don't remember particularly.
They went up. So the opening of a pipeline does not automatically mean oil prices go down. Number one.
It definitely. You act like it doesn't correlate, though. Like you're acting like it does not correlate.
But if it correlates, then the correlation is that oil prices go up, because that's what happened when the Keystone opened, Mike.
You know what? I would have to research that stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay, you can do that. Secondly, Mike, are you aware of the OPEC 2020, OPEC plus 2020 deal?
I didn't read it, but I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
Okay, can you tell us what are you familiar with about it? What do you know about it?
That it exists.
So you're not, in fact, familiar with it. You've just heard the name.
Right.
Okay. Oh, Lord.
We can explain it, sure, but let me just read this real quick. Tammy, thanks for the 5 on Venmo. It says,
Yeah, I think you guys are just trying to go back into a point.
Please make and prove that Biden shut down hundreds of pipelines. I only found the Keystone XL, which, again, obviously was just a permit being taken away. But thank you, Tammy. I appreciate it, W. Tammy. Yeah, I do want him to prove that, but let's go over the what Erica mentioned first.
Hang on, just wait for him to come back first, because he's evidently gone to research whether Biden shut down hundreds of pipelines. By the way, I wonder whether Mike's aware of the multiple new pipelines that were approved under Joe Biden, like the Mountain Valley pipeline. Or is he just glossing over that, So anyway, Mike, you're back. We were talking about the OPEC plus 2020 deal that you have heard the name of, but you don't know anything about it.
No, I don't know much about it.
Okay. So in around May of 2020, what happened to oil prices?
In 2020, I believe, I don't know. I can't remember, actually. That was a bad time, man. Like, it was horrible.
No, they were cheap. Well, they were cheap at that point, May of 2020.
Well, nobody was driving either. So.
Yeah.
Well, great point, Mike. Nobody was driving and the world was not using oil.
Right.
So American oil companies, they went to this guy who I believe was your president at the time. His name was Donald J. Trump. You may have heard of him.
Yeah.
And what Donald J. Trump did as a result of the American oil companies going to him and saying, hey guys, we're going to go bankrupt because oil is currently trading negative. We're having to sell it for cheaper than it costs us to pump it out of the ground. Donald Trump went to this group of countries that are called OPEC. Are you familiar?
Yes. The Saudi situation, right?
Well, they're one of the OPEC countries, but there's multiple OPEC countries. So Donald Trump went to them and said, hey guys, can you reduce your production of oil? Because as you will be aware, nobody in the world is using oil right now. And that means that the price of oil has dropped below the price it costs to pump it out of the ground. And I've got these companies that are complaining to me. And the Saudis went, yeah, sure, let's make a deal for 2 years. We're going to drop production by 10% for 2 years. Okay.
Right.
But then what happened later in 2020 with like people needing oil, Mike?
Well, I'm sure that there was a point where Donald Trump had to make money for his investors that invested in him to be president.
No, but that's not answering my question, Mike. What happened later in 2020 with global demand for oil?
I'm not really sure what remind me.
It went back up, Mike.
Okay.
And it continued to go up as the world opened back up. The problem here is you now have more demand for oil than you have oil. And what happens when you have low supply and high demand, Mike?
I just don't see what any of this has to do with what we're currently talking about today. Like to
everything.
me, it's just you're trying to make excuses that
Mike,
Biden wasn't as bad.
It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's explaining basic
Get
things.
muted, bro. I don't need to be up here. I mean, come on.
Mike, the reason we're talking about this, just in case you're unfamiliar, is you brought up the price of oil under Joe Biden. Now,
Yes.
The price of oil under Joe Biden had nothing to do, not one thing to do, with a pipeline that had never carried any oil being closed. Not one thing. Okay? What it had to do with was global demand for oil and global supply for oil, and the supply had gone down due to a deal that Donald Trump had made.
Just for a visual, this is when
Obama
the
paid the banks,
deal was
okay?
signed.
Obama
This
got
is-
funded by the banks, and he paid off the banks.
For the visual, this is when
Oh,
the deal
not
was
big
signed.
oil and had to
This
pay
is
off
when the
big
deal.
oil.
All right, can someone mute him while I show this? This is when the deal was signed in May of 2020. So at its bottom, and of course, as Erica said, if anybody was listening, it lowered production. And then this was the end of it in May of 2022. And then it hit its peak, and then it started to go down. So it aligned perfectly with that, with those 2 years. So just for visual,
Okay, that's fine.
so
But
that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
I still don't understand what this has to do with what's happening currently.
Sure. I mean, we can explain this to you. You're currently trying to make the claim that the reason why gas is so high is because you can basically avoid the gas being higher under Trump because gas went up under Biden. We're pointing out that not only was it not Biden's fault that gas prices increased, but it was actually Trump's fault. And again, we can come back to all this fun stuff. We're like, you're showing you're not informed on these matters because you also brought up the closing of pipelines. They didn't close.
I mean, I have to admit, I'm more interested in military law and the things that are happening with that whole situation right now. That's what I've been spending most of my time on. Because I don't believe anything that the media says at this point in time, and I don't know why anybody else does.
So you must be pissed off about the war crimes, but that's a different conversation that we can talk about in a second. But the problem here is that you also brought up something about them closing hundreds of pipelines. That never happened. What they actually did was they simply closed the opportunity to lease some pieces of land that no gas company for years had put in any offer to actually lease out. So Joe Biden not only didn't cut off the supply of oil, he increased the supply of oil under his entire presidency. Donald Trump since then has simply raised gas prices on the rest of the world, which hurts the United States, by the way, because raised gas prices around the world also raises gas prices in the United States, and is getting nothing out of it. Because guess what? In order to
believing anything you're hearing? That's what I want to know.
Why am I? It's not what I'm hearing, dude. It's what you can plainly see.
No.
That,
why are you believing what you can see?
Beyond that, though, Mike.
That's what I want to know.
Why am I believing how numbers work, Mike? Well, because statistics are.
Why do you believe any of those numbers are real, though? Like that's what I'm saying. Like, what makes you believe?
Do you not? I'm sorry, you don't believe that gas prices have gone up?
Well, I understand
stupid,
that,
Mike?
but why do you believe in the way that it happened, I guess? Because we're under a military law right now.
No, we're not. But we can look at certain things.
I can prove that
Mike.
to you if you want me to.
Mike, as much as I love to go into how you drive and how you travel and your conveyance and shit. I don't really feel like going down that conversation.
Well, I just know that I shouldn't believe
Corey, you got a
anything that the
violation.
media says because of the military laws that we're currently under. So, I mean, maybe
Corey.
I can help you out a little bit with that.
Mike,
Guys, we're
can
looking
you
for
please-
opposition, please. We can get
can
to
you
gets at
please-
35K.
Can you what are you talking about under
Yeah, you guys
military
are getting
law?
all your information from media, but we know that the media is under control by the military and Donald Trump. So
Okay,
why would you believe anything you're hearing?
Mike, can you prove that to us, please?
Yeah, 47 USC 606. Yeah, I know
And?
you've never heard of it before, but I mean...
And explain how that is relevant to what we are talking about right now.
Well, I think you should look it up, honestly, because you're not going to believe what I have to say.
Mike, just tell us. Tell us how it's relevant.
It basically tells us that Donald Trump has full control over all forms of media, and if they do not comply, they can be taken over. They can jail up to what, 20 years.
I have something terrible to tell you, Mike.
Yeah,
You're talking about war powers, right?
exactly.
Okay, just so you know, Congress just the other day said they were not extending Donald Trump's war powers. So
Yeah, I know that's probably what's happening so that future presidents can't use it. But what I'm saying is,
no, Mike. How long can the president use war powers for without going to Congress?
well, he's been using it at least since 2017 that we know of.
No, he hasn't, Mike.
Actually, he has.
No,
I can prove
Mike.
that to you.
No, Doug, you've just got this guy is not okay.
No, I can prove this. I understand.
Mike,
you know nothing about what I'm talking about. but
Mike,
it's
you've
very
been wrong
true.
about so many things so far.
Dude, I haven't been wrong about anything. I'm trying to show you, why would you even believe anything you think?
Why would I believe anything I think?
It's completely fake. Why would you believe any of it?
Mike, are you telling me that we can't look up anything at all? Everything that we look up is all fake numbers?
That's how I see it, yeah.
Okay, so if that were true, then why is it on the EIA website, which is a government website, why did it show that gas was $4.60 last month? Wouldn't Trump have every reason to lie about that number and make it lower?
I'm just saying, if you look into USC 606, 47 USC 606, you see that he has control over all media, all internet, all radio.
You don't answer my question.
Except, Mike, the problem with this is I'm outside of the US. And so it doesn't matter what war powers Donald Trump has. It doesn't affect my ability to use the media. And guess what?
Yeah, but we know that your media is skewed, like, tremendously.
No.
I know this. We're hearing it every day by people coming in the World Cup.
Do you know what, Mike? Do you know what?
35,000 likes. Keep tapping, guys. Keep tapping.
Do you know what, Mike?
Keep muting me.
No, I'm going to keep muting you because you're going to get Doug's live flag for misinformation. You
can research this stuff.
You are out
There
of
are
your
laws
tree,
that are
sir.
currently active.
You're out of your tree.
Okay, so we have not been in war on paper since 2017. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
With who?
Under a national emergency, Title 50.
No,
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Who have you been at war with since 2017?
Trafficking. It's been a trafficking war. That's why
not-
you see
sorry,
boats
that's
getting blown up in the oceans.
No.
That's why you
When
see
did Donald
Venezuela
Trump-
being
Jesus
taken
Christ,
over.
Mike.
Can you show us when
Executive Order
Donald Trump
13818.
declared that?
Better look into it.
Donald Trump did not declare
Joe Biden
war.
extended them.
No, stop it. Donald
Listen, you're
Trump
not ready for me.
All right, you gotta chill the fuck
You're not ready
out,
for me.
bro. Yeah, we're not ready for you. Sure. Hey, David, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. It says, Mike, I understand not trusting the media, but I don't understand how simply guessing is a viable alternative. Can you explain
That's all everybody has
why
right
your imagination is more trustworthy than sources? No, you just don't know how to look anything up. You just lack.
Oh, I know exactly what to
you
look
lack.
up. That's how I even
You
know
lack
that
any
we're
knowledge.
under these laws
You lack
right now.
any knowledge in terms of
None
looking
of you
anything
know
up at all.
about these laws that we're currently under. I do. How does that happen? Because I know how to research.
Well,
Yeah, sure,
okay,
Mike,
Mike.
sure.
Mike, can you tell us?
I'm just
when
letting you know.
these-
I'm giving you information you don't know.
No, Mike, can you tell
I
us
appreciate
when
it.
these war powers were given to Trump, or when he seized them, or what happened there? Can you give us some paperwork that proves it, please?
Yeah, Executive Order 13818. I'm pretty sure that Donald Trump had full control over all forms of media from that point on.
Looks like you're about to get kicked.
That's just my
somebody
opinion,
disliked
but
you
I
so
mean-
much they paid to kick you. W. Tammy, coming to clutch as always. Thank you, Tammy. W Tammy in the comments. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. How does somebody end up being like that? Like, that's not an overnight switch. That's months, years of crazy manipulation or something.
That executive order is not invoking war powers. It's blocking the property of people who are accused of trafficking. It has nothing to do with any of the things that he said.
A chemical imbalance, some sort of imbalance. Yeah, no, he sounded like a QAnon person. I'm sure, and I didn't want to go in that direction, but I'm sure he believed the election was rigged. And it wasn't TikTok. We know it wasn't TikTok because we don't push misinformation here. We love the TikTok shop. Free and fair election.
I'm just using I've finished using it now, a very expensive tool that I bought from the TikTok shop.
He's the type of guy that wants to represent himself in court.
Yes, he's the kind of guy that gets arrested and says, I'm a sovereign citizen.
Oh my God. I was watching some of those videos the other week. They were very entertaining, and how confident they are too. Like, they feel that they're so special when they say it, and the cops don't give a fuck at all. Like, I'm never on the cops side about like really anything for the most part, but like when I watch those videos, I am, because I love how much they don't give a fuck. They're like, yeah, like, we're still gonna arrest you.
Do you know my favourite one? My favourite one is a British person quoting a law to the British police. And it's an American law. Like, he's like, you can't do this because of this. And they're like, that's not a law. Like, that's never been a law. It's not on the books. And I looked it up. It's an American law, not a British law. Oh, yeah, maritime law is big with those guys. They love a bit of maritime law. They also bring up the Organic Act of 1871, I think it is, like, all the time, because they think America is a corporation.
Yeah, I'm looking this up now, and I'll look more into it. But from what I see, sovereign citizen has never won a court case. But let me keep looking into it. I doubt any of them has, though. I mean, why would they? All right, well, we're still looking for opposition, okay? If you vote for Trump,
there are also the people that think that all American lawyers are loyal to the British Crown because of some mix-up over bar associations.
Love the British colony.
God damn it, I didn't mean to bring you up.
And the Empire. Love the British Empire.
Bring it back. I did not mean to bring you up, but we'll entertain you for like 30 seconds. How you been, George?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. How have you been?
I'm good, thanks for asking. What's on your mind today?
So, you see, with the British Empire developed.
No, we're talking about. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're talking about the topic.
Overseas.
Nah, told you guys this wasn't going to last long.
Yeah,
no, goodbye. No, I know who he is. I mean, unfortunately, he's of age to talk on here, but
I know for sure that George's colleagues have a WhatsApp group that he's not invited to.
I can totally see that being true.
100%.
Yeah, Mike, everybody universally knows that George cannot ever have just like you, actually, Mike, cannot have a civil conversation at all, and cannot. I don't think I've ever had a reasonable conversation with George, let alone any conversation that's lasted longer than like a minute.
George has got to the point where he's like John Stone. I can tell you what he's going to say. He's going to talk about his portfolio, and then he's going to call us all brokies. That's all George ever does. Portfolio brokies.
Sounds
and then
right.
occasionally he admits to a bit of tax evasion. That's George's whole shtick. He's got a level 3 in accountancy, don't you know, Doug?
Oh, level 3. Why didn't you say so?
Well, I know.
I have, because John Stone has been permanently blocked for a while now, so I haven't seen him in a while. I kind of miss his little shtick that he had. He was always he was always entertaining. Yeah.
The Frankfurt School, Freud.
Yeah.
Judith Butler. Was it Rousseau or Foucault? Rousseau and Foucault, I believe. He liked people whose last name ended in co. Again, I should invent a John Stone bingo card, and we can all, you know.
Well, you got to have on there. This is just my opinion.
Yeah, this is
The
all my personal opinion.
Frankfurt thing. What else?
I said the Frankfurt School.
That's right. Yeah, you mentioned that. What else does he say?
Freud, Foucault, Rousseau, Judith Butler. He'll also postmodernism.
Yeah, he says something about the LGBT plus community. I forget what. They're perverted or something like that. I don't remember the exact word that he uses. Remember, guys, we're still looking for opposition. If you voted for Trump, hit the request button at the bottom of the screen. I would appreciate it. Why didn't Democrats make things cheaper? Well, that's the whole point of it. It's being facetious because Trump said that he would lower them. And for 4 years, you guys constantly complained about Democrats not making things cheaper. So I'm wondering why you guys are not doing that now. That's it. Should be pretty simple to understand.
Oh, I'm inviting Shelby, what is it? Shelby something up. I've now invited her 3 times. Oh, is it her or I don't know.
Thanks, Ryan.
Oh no, looks like a man. Isn't Shelby a lady's name in the United States?
Yeah. It is. This is all my personal opinion. Yes.
I'm just going to keep inviting Shelby up.
We have some men name here, Shelby? I don't know. I guess I don't get out enough. I believe you, though. I'm sure that's probably the case. Can't be a man's name in the South. That's true. That is true. I suppose I stand corrected.
Well, Shelby doesn't seem to want to come up.
Yeah, I don't really think I've met like just a Shelby in general, at least any time in recent times that I can think of. It's not like a super common name here anymore. I don't think. I don't know. I thought it was a dog's name. Well, many times dogs' names are named after human names. Documentary Roy Cohn to see me. I never saw that. Never saw that documentary. Hope everybody's having a really good Monday, though. It's already almost July. It's not really crazy to think about. Already almost July of 2026.
I think Shelby's trying to call you a name, Doug.
An Ussy.
Isn't it weird that I've invited Shelby up like 10 times? It seems like Shelby is actually the Ussy here.
Yes, 100%. I understand, Boston, that Trump cannot micromanage the U.S. economy. That, again, is the whole point of the life. You guys made it seem like that Biden could and did in a negative way, and you guys made it seem like that Trump did in a positive way his first term. And the big reason why people voted for him is because they felt that they were going to have more money in their pocket, quote unquote, and that he would be better for the economy. That's literally the point of the life. Everything is better under Trump. Okay, well, Boston, why don't you come on up and tell us one thing that is specifically better because of Trump? Okay? We're all waiting on you. Can't possibly think what would be better right now because of him. You guys really should get this fidget toy, though. TikTok Shop has it. And I'm not paid to tell you this. I just really like the fidget toy.
Guess what, Trump? Doug? Guess what, Trump? Guess what, Doug? I've invited Boston up 3 times, and guess what Boston's not doing?
Not coming up.
Not coming up.
What happened with those gas prices decreasing at year to start? Yeah, I'm pretty good about not buying stuff on the TikTok shop. I've only bought like 2 or 3 things or something like that. So, but I can't pass up the fidget toy. This is such a good fidget toy too. Feels heavy in the hands. It's not like a light one. You can click with it. Very cool. Love the clickiness. And then a spinning thing. This thing can spin for quite a while. It's fun. Except Trump has business in both states, so they can't be that bad. And again, if you guys want to know ahead of time when I do go live, if you're on TikTok, you can join the bulletin board in the top left by clicking my profile name. And if you're on YouTube, or even if you're on TikTok as well, you can join the Discord, since I announced there ahead of time when I go live.
I don't want to know ahead of time when you go live. I want to be surprised.
Yeah, that works too. I'll just surprise you guys from here on out.
I need a pee.
Make sure you do that. You don't want to hold that in.
I'm going to.
Okay, I'm happy for you. What else? What shall we fill our time with, guys? Should I play that that thing of Ben Shapiro rapping WAP again? Seems like you guys really didn't like that one. I thought it was entertaining. And if you don't know what that is, consider yourself lucky. Nah, I won't do that to you guys again. At least anytime soon. At some point, I for sure will. I will for sure do that again. Just not now. It's catchy, though. I think it's very catchy. If you ask me. Nobody is going to his state fair. Well, let's go over his approval rating. I guess we can do that real quickly. It actually has gone up a tad bit over the past week or two, a few weeks or something. Well, no, wait, never mind. It's back down. So right now, currently, we're at a net approval of minus 19.6. Minus 19.6. What that means is his approval rating is 39.5. His disapproval is 57.4. His disapproval was a little bit lower. Looks like a few weeks back. It was 38.3. 38.3 is a low. Oh, wait. Yeah, 38.3 is a low. His disapproval at one point was 58.1. Yeah. Which is still currently much worse than at this point of Biden's presidency, by the way. At this point of Biden's presidency, we were reaching the top gas prices. We're exactly in the month of his second year in which gas would have been at an all-time high, in which he would have had a very low approval rating. But even having said that, Trump's approval rating is still worse. And that says a lot.
I have the worst team ever.
Hi, you sound like you're 5, so goodbye.
Hi.
No. No. But yeah, as far as the approval rating, I am just I'm using Nate Silver's aggregate polling site. And all it does is, for anybody that's wondering, for anybody that says I'm going to cherry pick polls, they're just using the average of the polls, of all the solid polls that are out there. Ones that favor Trump versus not. What's that one that tends to favor Trump? Rasmussen. That tends to favor not just Trump, but Republicans. Even that one, that poll came out a few weeks ago. That one even had his approval rating at 41%. So a little bit more than the average, and disapproval at 57. So even his favored poll still doesn't really look all that good. And his approval rating, when it comes to the inflation is really bad. That's minus 45 points. That is god awful. Yeah, his disapproval is 70 with inflation, and his approval is 26.2. Very, very bad. Immigration, which is his best issue, his approval is 42.7, disapproval 53.8. And again, that's his best issue, as far as polling goes. minus 9.6 on that.
I'm back. I've had a pee and I've put the washing on.
Well, good. Got a lot done. Very productive.
Multitasking.
I don't know how to pronounce your name, Eric.
It's a erect gorilla. It's a play on of the meme "Dicks Out for Harambe" from like 2016.
I got you, man. All right. How old are you for TikTok terms of service?
I am 19, sir.
Alrighty. And were you old enough to vote? Or
I was not.
Okay. Do you support Trump currently?
No. I mean, during that election, I was kind of like in support of him, but I just didn't really know much about politics.
Okay. What prompted you to join? Because I'm really just looking for debates.
Oh, no, that's fair. I was going to say, though, it's not like Trump can inherently control gas or grocery prices, but I think it's more of an issue of politicians simplify really complex issues for talking points, and then voters get mad about it, and it's like, what can we do? You know what I mean? Like, Biden couldn't control that gas hike in July of 22, I want to say, is when it peaked during his presidency.
June and July of 22, yeah.
Yeah, like, that wasn't Biden's fault, and Trump voters
you're right.
went...
It was Trump's fault.
Well, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
We can get into what caused that. But yeah, no, I mean, listen, I think, again, some of these things are nuanced, right? Like, we have to obviously talk about the reasoning as to why some of these things happen, what played a role into it. It's not just simple as just, saying this person did that and end of story. But I think it's good that people learn more about these things so they have better information on this and they can make a better vote. But yeah, the problem is that your average person is not informed on these things. A lot of people voted for Trump because they thought he was going to just make things cheaper, which obviously sounds like, as you know, he wouldn't be able to do, nor could any president.
Yeah. But, I mean, getting into a, voluntary war, which, Congress hasn't declared war, but does anybody truly care about the nuance of that per se? I mean, they didn't declare war for GWAT or Vietnam or Korea, so you know what I mean?
Yeah, so what sure, so what is he trying to get at?
Oh, I'm just saying, like, he does have fault Trump does have fault in the rising prices of gas in the past couple of months.
Yeah, I mean, I think that should be pretty damn clear. I don't know how anybody would deny that. Obviously, many may justify it by saying it was necessary, which I would highly disagree with. And I think most people, actually, this war is very unpopular. I think it's last time I checked, I think it only had like a 25% approval rating or something like that. Or favorability or whatever. Yeah, most people are not for it.
I mean, that's still 25% is a little scary because that's roughly 50 to 60 million Americans. I mean, that's just rough math in my head.
I don't know if it's of the voting population or not or whatever, but yeah, it seems like I'm just double checking it. Yeah, it's about 25-ish percent. Yeah.
That's still more than it should.
No, it's more than it should. I would agree. It's more than it should. I would agree with that. So, all right. Do you plan on voting in the midterms or the next presidential election?
Oh, absolutely. I plan on. I mean, I was going to vote for the Republican candidate, but then he got a Trump nomination. So for my House seat, so I'm just going to vote for the incumbent, Marcy Kaptur. She's not bad, but she's just been in office since 1982, so it'd be nice to get a fresh face in there.
Wait, who? I missed what you said. You're voting for who?
Marcy Kaptur.
And where are you again?
I'm in Ohio.
Give me 1 second here. Why are you voting for her?
Honestly, because the other option got a Trump endorsement, and that's a good enough endorsement for me to not vote for somebody.
Do you know of her policies or anything like that?
She's very pro-union, which I can agree with. I mean, I'm very pro-union. I think we could fix a lot of America's issues if more places unionized and we didn't, union bust so much. Like, I mean, I'm an EMT, for example, and I've heard stories from private companies where if you even say EMS should unionize, they'll send you home for the day.
Yeah, listen, I don't know a lot about her. I'm looking her up right now, but no, it's good that you're getting into some of these things. I think it's good that people vote on a local level. Those things affect your day-to-day life oftentimes a lot more than voting for a president would. Yeah, oftentimes. So that's good. That's good that you're getting involved. It's good to see. And what about the presidential election? I know we obviously don't know who's going to be running, but what are your thoughts about that?
I'd like to see Kentucky's governor Andy Beshear run. There's just something about him. He really is good at getting, Republican voters to vote for him. I mean, Kentucky voted for Trump, but they still have elected him twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's very good at communicating.
I'm familiar with him. I don't know tons and tons about him, but yeah, I do know, as far as what you said about him, which can be helpful on a national scale. So who knows? I got to look more into his policies though, but yeah, we'll have to see what happens. And this is just assuming that we're going to make it through midterms. I still have questions about what's going to happen with that. And I have questions certainly about the presidential election too. I'm still not convinced Trump would leave office if he lost in 2028.
I'm not convinced either. I hate to say it.
Well, I mean, he already tried to not leave. In 2020, what would stop him from doing it again? He has far more. He has far more to lose this time leaving than last time. So you could have every incentive to stay.
I mean,
so
I just don't get how there's legitimate Trump supporters, though. I mean, you look at Executive Order 14160. I mean, that's just a blatant violation of the Constitution. I mean, when has the president ever interpreted the Constitution?
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, he's doing a lot of things that are challenging, a lot of things that we've done for a long time. So, I mean, it's just yet another thing there. But listen, let me see if I can get to some opposition. So, because people are probably looking more so for debates here. But I do appreciate the conversation, though.
No, that's fair. Have a good one, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care. Hope you have a good one, okay? Always good to see somebody younger getting into politics. I was not really into politics. He said he was 20, I think he said. Or 19. I wasn't really into politics then. I mean, I had my views, but I didn't really give a shit. Proud, how you doing?
Hey man, how's it going?
It's going. I just need to know your age, please.
I'm 43. I turn 44 next month.
Sounds good. I appreciate you. And did you vote for Trump?
No, I'm Canadian. I mean, my in-laws are American. I asked in the chat, do you have to be an American to come up? People said, as long as you're OP to Trump, and you're valid about it. Maybe
No. As long as you're opposition to me, meaning that you
I'm not
Trump.
culty about it. I'm not on my knee pads up here in Canada going, "Oh, I wish Trump would come make us the fucking 51st state" or anything like that. That's for sure. But I look at the situation in America. Obviously, as a Canadian, we have to follow closely. Our economies are tied together. I mean, we don't really economically exist in the big picture without America, without a full-blown massive transition. So I see Trump as really good for Canada because he has forced our country to crack into giant economic wealth and resources that have held us back, that we've allowed the American economy to essentially control for us. It's always been easy for us to just sell you guys cheap oil and buy it back, and profit off the dividends. But now we're at a point where we're potentially over a few decades could take on the role of the United States internationally in the sense of natural resource development and worldwide investment. So in a Canadian perspective, that's good for Canada because it's forcing our useless liberal government. And I know a lot of people are liberal that oppose Trump in the States, but our government up here has held our country back for decades. They've been in power 24 of the last 32 years, and Canada has faltered and sat in the
So what liberal
good.
policies in general do you disagree with?
It's not necessarily the policies directly that are in place now. It's the opposition, the red tape, and the process to allow the natural resource development to really explode in our country. Essentially, the liberals support extreme environmental policies, or did in the past up until recently, that really prevented the opportunity for oil refineries, for more pipelines, for all these things that we could really be benefiting off of as a nation.
What would you classify as strict? I got to talk, man. This isn't a platform for you to monologue. I have to be able to talk. I understand this isn't. I know. Yes, but this isn't monologue hour. We got to be able to have a conversation.
Okay, well,
right?
I apologize. You didn't give me a time limit or anything. So
all right. Well, I tried speaking, and you just kept going. So, what policies did you say were so strict? You said strict environmental policies.
I didn't say policies that were strict. I said the fact that, well, I mean, for instance, the environmental red tape in Canada allows so many levels of scrutiny and takes such a long process that it prevents, for instance, foreign investment from coming in and saying, hey, it's worth it for us to put $2 billion in Canada in this project here because it might take 11, 12 years to actually go, and maybe the Aboriginals might not agree at the end of the day or whatever it may be, but that kind of shit, right? So
how would that benefit you guys?
Trump has forced our Liberal government to churn an eye, really do a 180 on some of the way they've looked at stuff. That's a good thing for us.
So how would that benefit you guys? So how would that benefit you guys? So how would that benefit you guys?
How would the development of being the world's third largest known oil reserve develop? How would that benefit our country? Look at Scandinavian countries in Europe. How would it benefit our country? It would make our country rich.
Okay, but what about in Canada right now? Like, what about you guys is like lacking that you think needs to be better about you guys' day-to-day life?
Our GDP is the lowest in the G7. We're stagnant. Our growth is stagnant. Our dollar is weak, which is a good thing for foreign investment at the end of the day. But we've always piggybacked on America. So when America is unstable, Canada automatically becomes unstable. So it's forced our government now, with Trump in power, to do things that a typical Liberal government in Canada would never do and has never done historically in modern times. I also believe the fact
Dude, what is with you?
I have a question.
I didn't know there was a third person in the convo. I apologize.
I'm literally below you, sir. You can.
Yeah, but he didn't say this is a three-way combo. I thought you were a moderator or something. I apologize.
Okay. Where does Canada sit population-wise in the G7?
Our population is roughly around the 40 million mark, but it's vague because our immigration fluctuates a lot right now.
I didn't ask how many people Canada has. I said amongst the G7 countries, where does Canada sit in terms of population?
Where does it sit in overall population?
I'm
not sure what the question you're asking and the relevance to it.
Okay, if I were to order the G7 countries in terms of population from highest to lowest, where would Canada be?
I believe we're around fourth or fifth, somewhere in that area.
No, you're seventh. You have the lowest population in the G7.
Well, it's within a few million people, that last few countries.
Few million people of which country?
Well, I mean, what is it showing at, what are you doing? Are you just Googling last year's numbers or anyway, so my question is, what does this have to do with overall rankings? Because we've been the lowest population and actually been at the top of the G7 ranks before. So I really don't understand the relevance to the question with our conversation we're having.
She may have gotten a phone call or something
The nearest other G7 country to Canada in terms of population has a population that is 19 million people more than Canada.
Okay, so
which is, I'm sorry, I'm still talking.
But what?
So that's 1.5.
Let her finish. Let her finish. Let her
finish. I'll explain the relevance to you if you let me finish. So
I thought this is.
Yeah, just let her finish, and then you can speak.
So the next nearest G7 country has 1.5 times the population of Canada. And what you're complaining about is the GDP of Canada being the lowest in the G7. Canada has the lowest GDP in the G7 because it has the fewest number of people to do
That is the most
work.
uneducated thing I've ever heard. Look at the history of the numbers, ma'am. Can I go back to talking to this guy about debating America and why I like Trump?
No.
That is the most ridiculous. I want you to cross-reference this and look in the past to see if Canada has ever ranked high in the G7 7. Look back in the days where America and Canada were the number 1, 2 trading partners with each other before China got into the picture. Canada had a very high GDP on a world scale. It got stagnant through the era of the 90s and the 2000s.
Okay. You
That's
guys
the
are the ninth.
reality of it.
You guys are the ninth largest economy by nominal GDP. You
Yeah,
guys
but I
are
mean,
okay.
she just, her argument was we're the smallest GDP because we're the smallest. That doesn't even, come on, like, let's be realistic. That doesn't even make sense if you think about it. Like, that would be irrelevant. There's countries in the world.
Doug,
Ireland has the highest, one of the highest GDPs on Earth.
Oh my God.
Doug,
Oh my
What
God.
is the population of Ireland?
Oh my
where do you
God.
think Canada's GDP, where do you think the highest place in world GDPs Canada's ever sat? I'm not
Ireland
asking you.
Ireland is in the top 3. Singapore
Oh my
is up.
God.
I'm not asking you, I'm asking Doug. Doug,
Jesus.
what do you think is the highest number that Canada has ever reached on a global scale in terms of GDP?
On a global scale, I don't know what that
Yeah.
would be. I don't know. They seem to be at what 60,000 right now. If I see, I don't know.
Like,
I
no, in
don't.
terms of number, where's the highest they've ranked?
I don't know. It can't. I mean, I would just be guessing. They're in top 9 right now, from what I saw. Would they?
Well,
Was there ever a time in which? What's that?
7th. They were once
7th.
7th.
Okay. All right.
And the G7 bar China is the world's top 7 economies, isn't it?
You talking to him now? Yeah. But
No, I was talking to you.
no, you're good. Yeah. I don't. He's just gonna keep bitching and like, dude, you can unmute yourself. I want to have a conversation, but just chill. Proud. Oh my God, you probably don't know how to mute. No, fuck. No, sorry. No, God damn it. As soon as you unmute or accidentally unmute, you can unmute. I just want to have a conversation, man. That's it. So, did you hear what Erica just said? You can unmute. You can unmute. Did you hear what Erica just said?
I heard her. I'm questioning what this has to do with the fact that maybe if we, like, I understand what she's saying, and, it has been different in history, but we've never had the opportunity to explode our natural resource industry like we do right now because of the pivot or off the back that we've always worked on America. And I mean, you can argue with me that or disagree. I respect that. But the reality is right now we're entertaining things that even 5 years ago, the liberals were hands down against. And I think that it...
Which natural resources are you talking about specifically?
Oil is probably the big one right now.
Okay.
And also LNG.
Okay, cool. So oil and LNG, are they infinite resources or are they finite resources?
They're not infinite, but in this cycle we're in with current energy uses in the world, we're decades away from not having oil as probably the number 1 utilizer of energy. So
okay, but that's not.
Can I just finish? You wanted to go back and forth. Can I just finish,
I gave
please?
you the choice of.
Please let me just quickly finish here. This is ridiculous. I can't even finish a statement.
I gave you a choice of 2 words, which was infinite or finite.
You're deciding how I respond, and that's ridiculous. That's manipulative.
It's manipulative.
You're trying to direct the conversation and control it, and that's manipulative.
Aren't you also trying to direct the conversation?
No, I'm just telling his thing was about why do you support Trump? And all my things were why I support Trump. When I go to justify the reason why you never want me to finish, the logic behind why I choose to support that. That's the reality of it.
The comments would like to know if you're in Alberta.
No, ma'am, I'm not. And see, there's another typical assumption right away, right?
I'm sorry, I was just reading a comment. You don't have to cry.
Well, do you understand what that implies, Erica?
I do understand what it
implies.
implies.
That's why I made that response.
Alberta's like the Florida of Canada, right?
Yeah, I'm actually in one of the liberal, I guess by definition, liberal provinces of Canada.
Cool. Guys, we're looking for opposition, please. If you voted for Trump, please hit the
So,
request button.
anyways, can I finish why I oppose or why I think Trump's good for America, not just Canada? I know I started with the Canada
Tell
stuff.
us how you think he's good for America.
Well, I mean, America turned into a dumpster fire over just like Canada over the last decade and a half. I mean, for instance, can I ask you a question, my friend Doug?
Sure, what do you
and
got?
if you're not my friend, I'll rephrase it.
You're
But
okay, what do you
I
got?
call everybody friend. Do you think America, putting ICE aside, does America have an illegal immigration problem?
No, I think the problem is the process, and that we haven't made many changes to it over the years. No, I don't think we have a quote unquote illegal immigration problem, and I don't think either side is really doing their best to fix it. To be honest, there were certain things Democrats were trying to do, but
then?
no, I don't know, because I don't think it's the quote unquote illegal immigrants, undocumented immigrants, as I would call them. I don't think that's the problem at all. I think the process and the way that we've gone about it has been an issue. But no, I don't think they themselves are the problem.
Well, it's kind of like, so for instance, like the people that employ illegal immigrants in farms and stuff, they're like the root of the problem. So if a farmer is employing a legal immigrant at a lower wage under the table, it's not the illegal immigrant's fault. It's by definition the farmer's fault for being the source, the reason why that illegal immigrant is coming to the country. Like, because if there was no job, would he have that opportunity to survive?
Yeah, so
Have you?
there you
sorry.
go. I gotta be, guys. I do have to be ending this live though in like 8 minutes. I gotta be out of here by 3:20. Just to give you guys a heads up.
And
Sorry
you can
for last
ask
minute
me at any
notice.
time. I don't mind.
No, you're good. You'll probably be the last guest or two. I'll find somebody to raid. Go ahead, Erica.
I have a question, Proud. Have you ever watched like the US farmers on the news saying that they have advertised the jobs on their farms, paying higher wages to Americans, and that Americans don't want the jobs?
Of course, we see the same stuff here on ads with like Tim Hortons and all these companies that claim to be hiring local, and all the obligations set by the provincial or federal government is essentially you must be advertising to hire employees, but there is no defined rule when it comes to who you actually hire at the end of the day. So simply running an ad would give you the opportunity to say, yes, you are looking for local workers.
No, that's not. No, you're misunderstanding.
That's my interpretation.
No.
When I see them.
Proud, you're misunderstanding. They
Of
would
course I
have
am.
to. Proud, stop. They would have to prove.
These conversations would be better just with you, Doug.
Okay, let her finish.
Because
These conversations would be better with just me and Doug talking. But
maybe Erica, but they'd be pretty darn boring.
I can't imagine. I
All right,
cannot
my dear,
imagine anything being more boring than
You
talking
seem to
you.
be the host, not Doug.
She's just talking right now. She's talking to you. I don't see what's so difficult to have that conversation.
Well, every time I start a conversation with you and want to hear your response,
Anyway, so you're completely misunderstanding.
I was asking you the question, not
You're-
Erica.
Oh my God,
Why do
dude.
I want to hear her
Do you
response
ever
to
shut
the
up?
question I asked
Chelsea,
you?
Chelsea, thank you for the $2 on Venmo. Says the misogyny is insane. This guy never shuts up. I'm surprised this guy can yap this long.
Anyway, what I was saying was you misunderstand. I'm not talking about advertising things in order to be able to get migrants to come in and do those jobs because Americans won't take them. I'm talking about people who have been forced to employ undocumented migrants because there are no Americans that will do the job, even when they offer them higher rates. Did you know that when Joe Biden was president, when he left the presidency, there were 7.9 million excess jobs in the United States? Well-paid jobs that they didn't have the people to do. Do you understand that?
Yes, but Doug, can I hear your response to my question?
No,
Erica,
you can't. Doug's
Erica,
away.
how come I'm not allowed to hear a response to a question I asked
Because
Doug?
Doug is, you can see Doug is doing something.
Well, I'll wait for him to answer. Because we took the effort
Why
into
won't you
asking each
answer
other
my
questions, and then you had to
She asked you a question. Answer her question. Just answer her question.
Okay, so I'll answer her question. Then can you answer mine? Would that be cool?
Sure.
Okay, so Erica, yes, I understand that. So basically, what you're implying is that these farmers are trying to get people to work, and for whatever reason, whether it be laziness, lack of money, whatever the reason may be, people aren't taking these jobs. So it's forcing them to essentially go down other avenues to essentially harvest the food, because if they don't, it's all going to die, and that's going to hurt everybody. I get that. But do you know there's also legal methods that these farmers can utilize to bring in temporary foreign workers? Even in America, Canada has them too.
It's almost like you didn't listen to what I was saying. It's
I heard exactly what you said, Erica.
No, you
just
didn't listen
responded
to
to
what,
it. Oh my
because
Lord.
I specifically addressed that in what I was saying. You
Exactly.
didn't
So I don't think we disagree. So can we now go to Doug?
Yeah,
There's
go ahead.
no
You can
point.
ask his question. He can ask his question. Go ahead. Ask your question.
I already asked you. Now I gotta go back to.
Just go. I was away. Go ahead.
It was kind of what she jumped in.
Shut the fuck up. All right, we're done here, guys. All right.
I literally text Doug during that saying, I might go to sleep. This guy is boring.
All right, guys.
I can guarantee him that Doug and I would have more fun and a better conversation just talking to each other about the time that Doug shit the bed.
You're not supposed to mention that, Erica. She means that
Okay,
figuratively,
sorry.
guys. She means that
I do
figuratively.
I mean that figuratively.
Obviously. Why would I shit a bed at age 33?
Exactly. Why would you?
No one would ever do that. Anyways, guys, we are going to raid Reggie, and please do not tell me that she's just ending the live. I swear to God, if anybody tells me that, I'm going to go insane. She's not just ending her live, right? That happens every single time. But we're going to raid her,
Doug,
even if she is. We're raiding her.
I need to
What?
tell you, he just called me a vile woman in the comments and spelt the word vile like a vial in a science lab rather than disgusting. So, yeah.
Oh my God, that's really funny. Alrighty, guys. Yeah, so we're gonna. What's up, Chris? How you doing? Yeah, guys, we're gonna raid her. Reggie, what's her handle? So you guys can look her up. Let me know. Mods, just put her handle in the comments if you can, please. Now, I appreciate everybody watching the live. Give me a follow if you liked it. Click in the top left if you watched on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and like the live. If you guys want to join Discord, the link is in my bio. I appreciate the Venmo, gifts, follows, the taps, the shares, all that good stuff. And anything, Erica, that you want to say?
I'm a vile woman like the kind you find in a science lab. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you so much, Erica. All right, so I don't. Somebody's got to put her handle. What's her handle? Reggie's. Otherwise, we're leading you guys to a dead end if I don't tell you what her handle is. Okay, there we go. Hopefully, it lets me pin this. Nope, of course not. Of course, it doesn't let me pin it. Well, anyways, you guys see Peabody's comment. That's her handle. I may be live later. I just needed to go to the gym real quickly. I gotta do something with one of the clients there at the gym. And it's raining out. I hate getting caught in the rain. But I may be live later. If I do, I'll let you guys in Discord know and the bulletin board over here. Okay. Anyways, enjoy Reggie's live. Take care.